Wake up, gamers, because you're listening to the Big Think Dimension with Dan and Bob Video Games.
Spanky's quest will continue until morale improves.
Oh no. KZ Excellent.
I'm Adverb about noun.
And Mr. Feel. Here on GigaBoots.
The elements tried to stop us, but they couldn't.
They got close, though.
I'm going to be honest, that was like a fucking ion cannon from space aimed at our house.
Yeah.
Most of Niceville's fine, not that place.
No.
Now, Dan?
Yeah.
Typically, we meet at around 4 p.m. To record 2 podcasts. One is a short variety podcast that's usually under an hour.
Yeah.
And then we do Big Think shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it 10:40?
It is 10:40 because, you know, we sit there maybe for a little bit, make sure everything's working, because Windows likes to make our life exciting, and somebody will inevitably call in and their mic won't work at all. But, you know, we get like 40 minutes spent on that, making sure everything's clear, that everyone's set up, and then we record, and that takes about an hour plus, depending on the podcast. So sometime around 6 or so, I believe it was 6:40. When we start wrapping that up, we're like, okay, Dan, go get the Podlords. Oh, no, I don't have the Podlords. Hey, Podlords, you know why I don't have the Podlords now.
That's when the story stopped, in case people were wondering. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's
no
when the
pictures. You're fucked.
Yeah, you
Not
guys
this week. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
He will continue, and you'll understand why.
So, power drops out, and then it comes back, and we're like, well, that was weird. Then power drops out, and it doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Oh, still not back, I think. I don't know.
Then I go outside, and I'm like, I think I hear the neighbor's AC unit working, and then I walk back inside, and I'm like, okay, well then, and then the power comes on. I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then it goes out again, and we sit there, and we go, how long is this going to take? So we deal with food in complete darkness. Complete fucking darkness. They deal with food. I take a shower. Luckily, our water heater's gas powered. So I take a shower. I come back out. Food's here. They eat the food in darkness. Complete darkness. Power's still not back. We're like, what the fuck happened? And it's like, yeah, apparently a major power line that affects an entire city, and this specific city block of Niceville went down. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, my man. So we have to disassemble all these mic stands, the entire workflow, bring it over to Bob's, reassemble it in his living room. And I also need to grab a MacBook because Bob's PC doesn't have a USB Type-C, which is what this audio recorder needs.
Yeah, you know, after having Bob come out here and be like, check if you're good.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not going to just assume he's fine.
Yes.
The update at one point was like, hey, this will improve in like 40 minutes. And we're like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That time passes.
Yeah, they're like, you'll be good at 8:15. And then maybe 30 minutes later, you're like, 1:30.
Yeah.
Time to die.
Yes.
Yeah, so we relocated to Bob's, and yep, here we are performing for you.
If this sounds weird, that's why. It's not our fault.
Yeah, it's really not our fault.
Instead, you get a podcast.
We're all in one room in the old podcast room of my house.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the back of their noggins.
Yeah. It's not ideal, but hey, I like the fact that with the power of this MacBook and this McCree and shit, we could really just pick up and anywhere with internet do an online podcast with Feel.
Yeah, we could do it in a McDonald's.
That's true. Except I wouldn't enter a McDonald's in Florida right now.
It's okay. We'll wear our masks.
It just gets to the point like, well, this episode of Big Think Dimension, we're all sitting in a room at a Motel 6 that has free Wi-Fi.
I thought about that. I entertained that a couple of times because I was like, if I go to film a thing, how the
I thought
fuck
you
am I
meant for
gonna do
this
a
podcast. Like, we just go to a motel for this right now.
No, that'd be silly.
Yeah, it's like, Bob also doesn't have power. We should get a motel. I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
But if we have to do podcasts on the road.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so long as we have at least 2 beds.
I don't like the idea, though, Feel, of wearing a mask and having to do the Podlords, because I would just be, yes, that's right, the Podlords, full penis, full such as Danny Richardson. And everyone's like, man, Dan's voice sucks this week. Come on, you guys.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
But yeah, no. So here's the podcast. We're very powerful people. We can keep the podcast going. But no, you are not getting images.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It's too complicated, man.
I have awful news, or potentially good news.
Uh-huh.
As soon as we got inside here,
Yeah.
you pointed out something that Bob owns.
Yeah.
And then it became a thing of, hey, KZ, you could put that in your mouth. And as you know,
Oh.
I'm very impressionable. So here I have Bob's Captain Crunch Peanut Butter Crunch cereal bar.
Yeah. The
Which-
thing's tiny. It's like the size of 2 of your fingers. That's the width.
Yeah, the way you described it, it's going to be really bad.
I don't know what you're talking about. Bob, you said it was great, right?
No, never.
What? That's bullshit. Before we recorded, you said it was great.
Oh, there's chocolate on it?
Yeah, there's chocolate on it.
It's got the thinnest drizzle of chocolate in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking at it. This doesn't look like it would be especially bad.
Okay, I'll put it in my mouth.
It definitely looks better than it. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll put it in my mouth. Phil told me to.
That's what happened. Absolutely.
Ooh.
I've eaten a lot of cereal bars. I'm not sure if you knew this, Bob.
No.
If they've made a cereal bar, I've basically eaten it.
Good Lord.
Dude, when you work at CVS, you
Yeah.
feed food, and they have a higher propensity to carry that than real food. That's also when I realized, eating black olives from a can's okay. Because
I can live like this.
That's closer to food than most of the things in a fucking CVS are.
Yeah, you probably don't want to pay like triple price for Hot Pockets.
Yeah, no, their Hot Pockets are at least double.
Yeah.
It's like, this is supposed to be $2, motherfucker. Why is it $3.70? It feels terrible. Also, they're really old Hot Pockets, and if your CVS is like the ones I've worked at, maybe the freezer wasn't consistent.
Now,
Uh-huh.
here's how my scale's going to work for this, right? 1 to 10.
Okay.
On average, things that you guys do hey, you should give this a try, are usually really bad. Like that one pizza brownie thing that you made me have.
Oh, yeah,
That was absolutely vile after the No More Heroes 2 stream.
To describe that real quick for anyone who missed that stream, it was a brownie from a pizza place that was supposed to also be a cookie, so a brookie, but the cookie layer was a cream.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was unnerved.
Yeah, that
When-
thing was
when-
something.
When the way you looked at me is like you were a shark. Like you were ready to fuck me on that. So that's at the bottom of the scale. So I feel like this needs to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Yeah.
It is exactly in the middle. This is the most filler I've ever eaten in my life. It's just yes, I know what the cereal tastes like, and I keep chewing it and nothing is happening.
Yeah, no, it's
It doesn't taste that much like that cereal. It tastes
No.
more like those prepackaged Rice Krispie treats, which are the worst tasting version of Rice Krispie treat you can have.
Yeah, it feels like I've lost time while eating it, which means I will, of course, finish it.
I think your description's pretty good. It doesn't really have a strong flavor. If you didn't see that this was an official Captain Crunch peanut butter thing, you would never,
No.
ever deduce this.
I would slightly be able to figure out recently, as I had a box of peanut butter crunch, which was solid. I like that there are literal peanut butter crunches in it, just little circles just fused into it with grease
I mean, it's probably sugar.
and grease.
It's the funny thing is the thing that well, as I was saying before, this I've eaten a lot of breakfast cereal bars. This is basically the worst one. Just so we're clear, most of them are a lot sweeter. Some of them could be terrible because they're too sweet, but I'll even take those over this. This is literal filler. If it didn't come in the box, it's like, I am peanut butter crunch. I'd be like, what are you?
Right. I
the
would
peanut
think those
butter
are mimic, like fake peanut butter crunches on top of it.
right, and it is like the peanut butter flavor isn't even that strong. It just
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's kind of nuts.
Well,
I'm glad you got some food. You know, this day's been so good that the moment we end this podcast, I'm gonna go get some better tasting food because the food I got from the local Chinese place is bad.
yeah, that sounds great. That sounds a lot better than this thing,
Yeah, it does.
which I'll forget I've eaten in 20 minutes.
Yeah, because it's 90 calories and doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah.
Oh, only 90 calories. I might have to pick these up.
Feel, just eat like nuts. Just eat nuts.
No. There can be no question. It has to be. It has to be in a package.
It has to be bar shaped.
Yes. It's got to have a brand on it.
Yes. Holy shit.
And he's like, I can't do planners, not after the baby nut shit.
But yeah, that was unfortunate when I ate one of those. What was that, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Bob? That was.
I think it was only like a week ago.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Don't worry, it needed that extra week to like really ferment and like
develop flavor compounds
and deliver. Yeah, it sure does. Granted, you have to dig through like your 8th chew to be able to discover what you would call flavor.
Yeah.
And it's gone mid-chew.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like a vision came to you in a dream, a smoky, shadowy figure that resembled flavor.
because Casey said ferment, I remember something else I ate this week.
Oh, God.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, real quick, what are you gonna say, Feel?
Right?
Is it like the cereal bar version of LaCroix? Where it's like, this has the phantom of flavor.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like you poured water into a glass that once saw a lemon.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. Every time I've heard people talk about LaCroix has been on podcasts from people in California. Does that mean LaCroix is a drink for assholes?
Yes.
Now, if you're a person who drinks LaCroix and you listen to this, obviously you're not an asshole. You listen to Big Think Dimension.
Right, of course.
Yes, and you can't pronounce it LaCroix. Those assholes do. Its new name, LaCroix.
It is absolutely a drink to aim dead assholes. You can drink it if you're not one, though, so that's a thing. Bob, what the fuck else did you eat this week that fermentation reminded you of it?
It was Natto.
Oh, Natto, right?
Yeah.
Natto?
Natto with the little line over one of those T's.
I was gonna say like the Persona 4 character.
No, the Fooly Cooly character.
Yes.
I was about to say the Detective Prince.
Bob, don't eat children. Not even anime children.
I need it. Sustenance.
It was one of those packages you can buy from the Asian store. It comes with like hot mustard and some sort of soy sauce like thing, but not much of either of those. They're like these tiny little packets for these. If you don't know, these are fermented soybeans.
Yeah, I figured I would just describe the Wikipedia entry for Natto. For people, it's like a sticky, syrupy beans thing. It is a traditional Japanese food made from soybeans that have been fermented with Bacillus subtilis, variation natto. What the fuck is this? A stand? Anyways, it is often served as a breakfast food. Mm-hmm. It is served with karashi, mustard, soy, or tare sauce, and sometimes Japanese bunching onion. Bob, Wikipedia says natto is often considered an acquired taste because of the powerful smell, strong flavor, and sticky, slimy texture.
Yes.
Say the same thing about my bar.
No.
No one could. I'm sorry, no one can acquire that taste.
He didn't. Maybe a baby.
The bar didn't acquire it in the first place.
It failed to acquire the taste.
Maybe if I put some soy sauce on it and put it in an air fryer, I might be able to make something out of it.
We need some karashi mustard so that way Casey can enjoy this bar. Bob, would you agree that it is an acquired taste?
Yes. All my life I'd heard how bad this stuff smells.
Yeah.
So I expected really bad, like insanely bad. I open it up, it's not that bad. It honestly just smells kind of like, if you have some sprinkled cheese, it's gone a little bad, but it isn't totally inedible.
Yeah, you're talking like shredded cheese.
Yeah, like shredded cheese in a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it smells a little bit like feet. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, okay.
So
but here's the thing. You are going to get, like, I presume frozen, right?
Yeah, it was frozen and then thawed, of course.
So that may have tamed it a little.
Maybe.
Compared to fresh. Maybe one day we'll go to Japan and find out.
Maybe.
So the smell wasn't bad.
The smell was acceptable.
Okay.
I think I turned it to hard mode on accident by mixing it with rice, because that's how I heard you're supposed to eat it. Like with rice.
I mean, the Wikipedia picture is literally it on rice being eaten with chopsticks.
right.
So that's clearly it.
Right. That was I've heard putting it on toast too, but I was like, rice sounds like what people are supposed to do. So you mix it all up, it gets really gooey and disgusting looking. It's like imagine you sneezed in the bowl.
Oh my God.
So I sneezed in the bowl to make it match.
I get through a few bites, like this isn't that bad, and then I keep going, and it's awful. It's absolutely terrible. The texture is horrible, and now there's a ton of it because I have it on the rice, and it's absorbed the rice into itself, basically. So it's all of this gooey mess.
Maybe if you had used less on the same amount of rice, it would have worked out.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're supposed to stir it all up. None of these images I'm seeing do that.
Okay, you stir up the beans themselves.
You
and put
do,
that on top
yes.
of it.
And then you put that on top of it.
Right, so maybe I shouldn't have stirred it into the rice.
Yeah, maybe they're using the rice to save them.
Right, maybe I'm supposed to take, but I couldn't even imagine like being able to extract them and the rice two separately. It's so gooey. It's just a pile of goo in there.
Sneeze.
I don't recommend it, but you know, I may have made some sort of thing of having to eat it was aggro at some point.
Okay, cool. I'll join you for that.
I'll supervise.
Watch from a safe distance is what that translates to.
Yeah,
Right.
in a hazmat suit.
So I ate a thing that I have to criticize right now.
Real quick, before we move on, I got to say I'm really glad we're not a mega huge podcast because someone would be like, they're making fun of Asian food, so they're racist. And I'm like, no, he said he didn't like it.
Right, I'm
There's
like,
a fucking difference.
I understand that that's important to the culture. I don't have anything against it. I don't think I literally couldn't finish the bowl.
Yeah, there's a world of difference between Bob can't stand the texture of natto beans and guy who's like, this type of soup making thing you guys do looks like diarrhea. Yeah, there's a world of fucking difference there.
How dare Bob not like something where the joke in half the anime is it's bad and they can't eat it.
Right, like
know,
all the
right?
younger generation cannot eat it. It's mainly the old man thing.
I cannot fucking believe this. I'm on Google and I'm like, show me some pictures of natto, and it's like, okay, here's a picture of a girl covered in natto in a bathtub, and I'm like,
Whoa.
Google, what the fuck?
Theo, what did you eat?
So I bought a bottle of Griffin's.
You don't get Podlord images, but you get that one.
No! I'm not putting it in.
She's got a leak. It looks like she's having fun. Okay, fine.
They're not getting it.
So I bought a bottle of Griffin's jalapeno mustard.
I fucking hate this show.
I'm gonna get a DM that's like, hey, where'd you find that image? And I'm like, I just Googled the word natto, you freaking out of here.
Can we escape?
No, that's funny as shit.
I'm tired of seeing it. I look in two different directions.
I'll just roll it up
Okay,
a bit. There you
thank
go.
you.
There you go, Casey.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, so say the name of that mustard again.
I bought Griffin's jalapeno mustard. Griffin's is like a normal mustard brand most of the time, and they do other things, I think, like barbecue sauce and pancake syrup. So I assumed that this would be like pickled jalapeno brine mixed in, or maybe like really pulsed down jalapeno mixed in. No, the mouth of this squeeze bottle is like half an inch wide because there's just big chunks of jalapeno in the mustard.
What? Okay.
Yeah, it's really not like what I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't bad, but it's like I don't want this much mustard on anything. Why is the mouth the size of a lake?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they want you to use a knife for your mustard, and it's like, but that's
No.
one of the
Comes in a
advantages.
squeeze bottle.
Yeah. Is it the one I posted in the Discord out of curiosity? Is that the gigantic?
Yes. It's
Okay.
not that big. I think I bought an 8-ounce bottle instead of a 16-ounce one. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
has
one's
like
for more like hydrating someone, right? Say you just went on a jog, you just drink that.
If you put some of that in your bowl, Bob.
Maybe that would do it. Yeah.
I mean, that would be a spicy mustard. Maybe you two should just meet with your foods of the week.
Yeah, I think the Natto
I'll
would have
grab
been
my bar.
would probably have been saved a little bit if it had more mustard, because this is the tiniest pack of mustard I've ever seen.
Cool. They're like, this is enough, and you're like, nothing can save me. This is nowhere near enough. So you were saying that it's not extremely pulsed down, has a giant open mouth.
Yeah, it's a giant. Imagine like diced onion sized.
Oh,
That's the size. That's the size of the jalapeno pieces in this.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't.
That's weird.
I mean, I don't speak for everyone who likes mustard. There are certainly people that listeners of this podcast will be more familiar with being some sort of source for what is mustard and what to do with it and how much to drink. But I don't think anything I put mustard on, I want chunks of jalapeno in the mustard.
I just ate it on a burger because I'm like, well, this seems like it's good. Sometimes I like mustard on a hamburger because I'm right
Yeah.
near Texas.
Yeah.
That they do that there.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I mean,
There's so much. There's so big.
Yeah, you have to eat all this mustard.
I still
Why
had
are
to
you
use it
doing
like
this?
I still had to use a knife to spread it because you couldn't like get decent coverage without it being too much.
So how much is this thing? Is this like a premium expensive mustard?
No,
or
it was
is
like
just a
$2.50. No, it was
Okay, so it's-
$1.75 because it was on sale.
Okay, so it's a reasonable price mustard.
Yeah, it's just
with some weird
blitz-
choices.
just blitz it down.
No.
Never.
Hey, how do you like your mustard? I like mine chunky.
I assume because they're sitting in there the whole time, the mustard at least has like a flavor of jalapenos just from that, right?
Yeah, I would think. It's not just, it tastes like mustard and then you hit a chunk of jalapeno.
And then
Right.
it makes a crunch.
Hey, what's up?
Did you play a video game this week?
Oh, I thought we were still doing food. Yeah, I did. Bob and I streamed all of Killer 7 across 2 streams last weekend because we felt like spreading it out and doing the reasonable thing that reasonable streamers do.
Oh, okay. What a bad idea.
It was all right. It was good. I got to sleep a decent amount. That was something.
Right?
Oh, okay.
I would have appreciated the extra day not making content, especially since we streamed opening night live and the Xbox stream. Having that extra day would have been good, but
The Xbox thing.
yeah. But yeah, Killer 7 was really good. Killer 7 was excellent. I hear lots of good things about the PC port. Looking into it, it runs at 60 frames per second. You can mouse aim, which I feel like is mildly cheating in that game, or extremely cheating.
Yeah, it's extremely cheating, but at some point where the hit detection got so bad in that game, I was like, whatever, just cheat it.
They
Yeah,
should-
I feel like the number one thing the remaster could offer is the fucking hit detection working better, because it's rough in that game. Like, we would repeatedly hit the weak spot and it'd be like, nah, you hit its other arm. We're like, what? That's feet away. What the hell's wrong with you? But yeah, no, that game's really, really cool. Reading that Suda had to cut out 2/3 of the plot.
1/3 or 2, I'm not sure.
No, it was it was 2/3. I've done a
Okay.
lot of research
All
since
right.
we beat that game.
That makes perfect sense.
He put a shitload of the plot that was cut into a book. There was also a comic. There's a lot of Killer 7 transmedia. But yeah, 2/3 of the plot was cut, which kind of makes sense because what was it? Only 2 of the 7 personalities talk
Yeah.
in a cutscene.
Yeah, I was like, I think that it is like two
or three,
characters,
yeah.
2, maybe 3.
It's kind of nuts. Yeah, that game's really cool. If you know what Killer 7 is, but you've never seen the Japanese version, go look up a long play or something of the Japanese version, because every NPC in the US version, obviously, as well, talks in English from a text-to-speech Microsoft Sam-like voice synthesis thing. But in America, they distorted a ton, so it's not as easy to make out. You can still make out a word every now and again. In Japan, they don't have nearly the level of filtering to make it sound weird, so some characters just keep talking in broken English, and it's really funny that every character in the game does this, and I'm like, this is why you're on 2 discs. Cool. But yeah, no, that game's really, really enjoyable for anyone who hasn't played it. Imagine the puzzle solving and like adventure style concepts of Resident Evil put in the most cracked out video game ever, because you can only walk on rails and all of your attacks are done in the first person. But one of the core ideas is every character swaggers their gun a shitload, and you have to reduce that with stat points. But yeah, no, it's got really cool personalities. It's got really neat gameplay ideas and visuals and story ideas. And it has one of the funniest cutscenes ever if you just look up Killer 7 Rush Roulette scene.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah, that scene's really good. I'm really glad I bought the soundtrack on Steam, which you can do, but only if you own the game. So I also bought the game so I could buy the soundtrack.
Oh my god, okay. That works.
That soundtrack's really good. It's got some really, really good songs in it. It's a giant soundtrack though, so there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, that game's pretty great. Has some pretty good themes. Has some nonsensical stuff too, but it's really, really fucking excellent, and I totally recommend it. It's probably not. Let me rephrase this. It is not as mainstream compatible as any of the No More Heroes games.
No, not at all.
It's definitely not that. It's not a dopey action game like No More Heroes 1 is.
Right.
With a fun open world game that's kind of low budget and mini games that are supposed to be miserable on purpose.
It's also a lot darker than No More Heroes.
Oh, yes. That's definitely something that's worth noting. It is trying to pull from noir and other pulp fiction sort of stuff. So, like, yeah, lots of brutal murder. One of the reoccurring characters is a severed head that just tells you about stuff and then just gives you a different ring with a different ability in every level. And it starts out with stuff like, rainy days are bad. That's why I'm here in this dryer. You're like, oh, what? And then it's like, yeah, you know how I keep this dryer? I tell people to keep on moving. This is my dryer. And I'm like, this is insane. But yeah, that game's delightful. That character's delightful. Yeah, no, I highly recommend Killer 7. It is not, do not expect the most polished experience or the easiest game or the funnest game. It is a really great experience, though, and I highly recommend that. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
You probably did things.
Yeah, we played the Diablo 2 Resurrection.
That's
beta.
true. We did play the beta on PS5. Bob played it on PC as well. Bob, how was the PC version?
It brought my PC to its knees.
That's hilarious.
It was just like, no.
What
no,
is it,
sir.
the 90s?
I'm gonna drop one coin on every square and just make your computer burst into flames.
No!
Yes. I imagine that will still murder me, yeah.
Feels like, pretty coins. And Bob's like, no, you can't do this.
At least you auto pick up money, so, you could essentially solve the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
On console,
the whole gimmick is you drop one coin in each place, and then while they're lagging, you just kill them.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, luckily, you could walk over currency and just pick it up in the console version. Does the PC version do the same thing?
Yes, that is a crossbows, thank God.
I feel like there's a certain clicker idle game energy to needing to click rapidly to pick up loot and money before your allies, so-called allies. Maybe
So-called free thinkers.
So-called free thinkers. But so that's a little sad that you would lose that with the auto money pickup thing.
I think you can turn it off.
But of course, on a controller, that would be maddening.
Yes.
You need to click every fucking time. I haven't checked yet because the Paladin gets that charge move. I didn't check if I could pick up money while charging. That seems ridiculous if I would just save my MP to run really fast over the money. But yeah, that beta was pretty good.
Yeah, and also I was surprised that my characters transferred between the two versions super easily. Like, I didn't do anything. They were just there when I booted the PC version.
Cool. So all you have to do is buy the game twice.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Cool. What's that? What? It's 40, right?
It's 40 at least. It's not a full 60.
Well, that's smart. This game's old as hell.
Yes. But this is actually really high quality update. Like, seeing you can switch between the old and new graphics mode, and the new graphics do look really nice.
Yeah, they look really solid. They did a great job with them. I remember Eric was talking about, this buddy that floats around used to just be this sort of small aura. Now it has tentacles trailing behind it. It's like,
It always had tentacles, but they look kind of cartoony and okay. Now it's very real.
And now they undulate.
Yes, there's lots of undulating.
Ooh, like a Mexican city.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't. There were only a couple problems in the beta. At one point, I got kicked out of the room. No reason. At another point, I stopped being able to bring up the pause menu. So I had to travel back to town and talk to a shopkeep, which forces a menu that's like the pause menu to come up.
Right.
So that way it would work again, but luckily it worked after that. Elsewise, we were able to play through the entire first act of the game.
Yeah.
It's a really generous beta. I hear it lets you do the first 2 whole acts.
Right, which is a ton of the game. Like,
Yeah, that's 40% of the fucking game.
Right.
But yeah, no, that game's really enjoyable.
I was surprised they got it feeling good on controller. I actually might prefer doing that because I have access to so many more spells.
Yes.
Like I can equip various things in hotkeys instead of on the regular game where you get the right click and the regular click and that's it.
That's not true. You could use the keyboard to change what spell you're using. So that's what it was before.
Oh, is there a way to set up multiple? Because I knew you could
Yes.
switch your weapon and that would switch.
Yes, that was a different button. But
Okay.
yeah, you can. I think you hold Alt and then you hit a key, and that would set the right skill. But that would just change you to the skill,
Right.
which would be preferred. Anyways, no one wants to be hitting like F and pointing the mouse in order to.
No, you really don't.
Right. So that was kind of there, but still, there's a lot more here. One of my favorite quality of life improvements is you have belts in Diablo. For anyone who hasn't played it, you fill them with potions, health potions, mana potions, or stamina potions, and you have 4 slots. Depending on the grade of belt, you'll have 2 rows, 3 rows, or even 4 rows, basically. You can just put in each slot the type you want it to have in those slots, and then hit R3 and tell it to autofill with the rest of potions of that exact type. That is a really nice quality of life feature, and having a potion set to the D-pad's pretty nice. Of course, now it's like so weird. I think it formed a disconnect now because I heard Eric multiple times while we were playing just be like, fucking heal already. Because he drank the potion, but in Diablo 2, it takes a second.
Right.
You know, you don't instantly get all of that health. If you want that shit, they have a potion for that. It's more expensive and it heals both mana and HP.
Get your rejuvenation potions then.
Yes, rejuvenation. But yeah, no. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would, shockingly. The frame rate is like 30 frames per second, which is weird.
There's a performance node you can turn on.
I did not know that. I should have looked for that.
Yeah, it runs 60 most of the time, but it does have hitches.
Weird.
Yeah.
You're on a fucking PS5.
I know.
Man, that's weird. Okay, cool. I will definitely play it in performance mode.
Yeah.
Hopefully with variable refresh rate Sony.
Sony.
Come on, man.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about features
on the box
that were promised 9 months before it shipped.
They're hoping you threw away your box.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if it's on the box, but the 8K is on the box and that shit's not in the system. So they have definitely printed some shit on the box that isn't working.
I might be right.
Oh, I didn't say that this time. Bob did.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they have 8K on the fucking box and it's like, it doesn't do this. How is this legal? What the fuck's wrong with you? They're like, it's not like the people who own 8K TVs have access to lawyers. And I'm like,
You gotta go.
You're telling me you think someone who had enough money to buy an 8K TV can't afford a lawyer? All right.
They probably are a lawyer.
Probably. 8K TVs are stupidly expensive and really not worth it. Anyway, I enjoy Diablo 2. Bob?
Yeah.
Diablo 2 is really good.
Yeah, no, that's a great game.
It's basically the standard by which that genre has been held to.
Yeah, that hardly ever anything has ever met.
Yeah. A couple things are basically as good depending on who you talk to. Like there are people who like Diablo 3 a lot. They're wrong, but that's okay.
We'll live.
And also, I hear lots of good things about, what was it, Pillars?
Pillar of Eternity?
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's
Pillars of
Okay.
Eternity isn't anything like Diablo. That's a
Yeah, I'm trying
that's
to
like
think
Baldur's
of
Gate. Do you mean
Path of
Path of
Exile.
Exile?
Path of Exile. Yeah, I just remembered the acronym. POE.
God. They are the
Yeah,
same.
that's what people kept doing for years, and I was so fucking confused. But yeah, Path of Exile, people swear by it.
Yeah.
Well, one of those franchises is dead, so you don't have to think about it ever again.
You promise?
I'm pretty fucking sure.
Whoa, which one's dead?
Pillars of Eternity.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Because the second one didn't do good and they got bought by Microsoft.
that is true, but did you know? I was told
Uh-huh.
that Avowed is in that universe.
Oh,
That's not being called the same. That's not being the same franchise.
Yeah, it is, in the same way that Left Alive is a part of what? Front Mission?
Oh my god.
Can we not talk about
That
Left
is-
Alive?
That is
Okay.
the worst comparison anyone could ever draw.
You're right, Bob. What else did you play?
just like Front Mission has a Horcrux.
Yes!
Yeah, Bob, you're feeling positive on Diablo too?
Oh yeah, for sure. I will probably pick this up.
I imagine you're picking it up on PS5 since it beat your PC ceaselessly.
Yes,
Okay, that's cool. I assume Eric will be doing the same.
probably. That man lives on laptops.
Yes, and oh boy. I wish I checked out the PC version of my PC because it's a good step stronger than yours and its laptop.
Yeah, and I assume that your brother will want to buy it on PC. So if that becomes the case and we need to do something involving him, I will buy both.
Oh, okay. You're like, I will tolerate the fact this runs at 10 frames per second
It'll-
and pretend it's nostalgic.
Yeah, it's nostalgic, okay?
Did you play anything else this week?
Yes, I accidentally bought a bunch of PlayStation indie games.
God, yeah, I was that. You're like, I got a bunch of things in my cart. I'm just gonna back out. Wait, I just bought it all.
Yeah, he's on his phone just messing with this, and he's like, yeah, the sale has a lot of good stuff. I'm just looking at this, and, well, let me check how much that other thing was. Oh, I just bought it all.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much was it? Like $55.
Yes.
So hey, Bob.
Hey.
Let's do the quick version. What did you buy? Could you do a rundown?
Yeah, I can do a rundown.
Okay, what'd you buy?
I bought Smelter, Bladed Fury,
Uh-huh.
Turok 1 and 2,
Ah, smart.
and oh my god, what's that? What is that last one?
Shit.
Huh.
Turok 1 and 2, I wish I picked up. That sale's ended by now, hasn't
I don't
it?
think so. I think it's
Okay.
still going. I think you can jump in.
That's cool.
It's that indie platformer that Feel liked a lot. Celeste, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Celeste.
Celeste's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure I'll play that on a controller I like, and maybe that'll help me out.
Yeah, it is a platformer that tends to help.
So Smelter.
Uh-huh.
This game is obviously very inspired by Mega Man X. You play as like a girl it's supposed to be Adam and Eve, like the origin story, but then it just goes crazy immediately, and then you get infected by this weird hat that gives you powers.
It looks like a dog. I'm just kidding.
It looks more like a book. It also kind of gave me some errors of Mackay Kingdom because of that.
I mean, it looks like Foo's eyes in the in No More Heroes 3. Just
Yes.
giant fucking googly eyes almost.
And then it also has an ActRaiser like town building
Yeah,
element.
I was looking at screenshots. I'm like, is this fucking ActRaiser?
Yeah, I'm seeing that. That's cool.
Yeah, it's got a lot of neat ideas going on.
Yeah. And they all work fine. Thanks, Bob, for the update.
Oh, good.
I wish that they worked I wish they worked fine, because I think there are a lot of cool things. They even have like decent movement and stuff in this game, but it all seems to have input lag, and pretty severely.
On console even. That's weird.
Yeah, I know. And also, Mega Man X wall slide, where you grab the wall.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it takes a second for her to grab onto the wall,
Yeah, I've seen games do that.
and it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's absolutely terrible.
It is terrible in games when they do that, and I have seen that occur.
They also do various time trial site challenges. The first one I found was like, hey, don't get spotted. And it's like, okay, you did not make a sneaking game. This is terrible.
Probably better than Vampire Rain.
Probably.
Bob, I gotta ask, is it better than Soul Seraph?
I don't know if I actually played Soul Seraph. I just watched
So you should play Soul Seraph.
I should try it out.
You should not play Soul Seraph.
why do you say that, Casey?
It's probably better than that. The tutorials get really intensely like, I get it, please stop during the city building stuff, because it's like it makes assumptions that you cannot think, I guess, because it has you do everything twice or more in the tutorial. And it's like, okay, I'm supposed to skip this step. Oh, I can't? You're not letting me? Because I know exactly what you're going to ask me to do. You're going to ask me to make this house and then use the people from it to man these places. But no, you need to just walk me through this step by step 3 times.
This icon says 1-up on it. We're going to let you know it gives you a 1-up. All right, now I'm going to need you to walk in front of it. All right, I'm going to spawn another one back there. Now go grab that one.
Now watch out. If your villagers are killed, they will die.
But yeah, I think this game has a lot of cool ideas. I hope they can patch to fix the input lag. It just feels real bad right now.
I wonder if it's better on PC.
Maybe. I assume it was made with Game Maker or something, where it's just, oh yeah, this is really hard to make it feel good.
Yeah, Game Makers. There are quite a few engines that maybe aren't the best for that.
Yeah. I also tried Bladed Fury. That really wants to be a Vanillaware title.
Oh, yeah.
It looks kind of like Muramasa.
I have watched Dr. O play this.
It's made in China. It's like a lot of Chinese lore stuff and all voiced in Chinese. It's pretty neat. I probably play more of this. The combat seems solid. It feels responsive. You get lots of new moves to learn. It's got a cool art style. It doesn't look as good as a Muramasa or like a Vanillaware game, but it's trying.
Yeah, it's definitely going for the same aesthetic and animation style.
Yeah, it even has maps that feel like they're branching in the same way. It's like, okay, instead of like Metroid style blocks, it's got these big chunks you go through. And then the last thing I played, Splitgate, which we saw during one of the conferences.
Yes, you were telling me the PS5 version supports mouse.
Yes, it says it supports mouse and keyboard. It has all the options for it. I haven't plugged it in the check yet.
Cool. I need to try that because I tried something, but I'll talk about that afterwards. My mouse might have interesting interactions. But Bob, how was Splitgate?
I actually had a lot of fun with this. It's completely free to play.
Okay.
It has portal-like mechanics where you can put portals on walls, and it's also just a shooter with deathmatch.
Yeah.
So you have a whole bunch of different regular shooter guns, like assault rifle, shotgun, and everything.
So it's basically Quake, but with portal technology.
Yeah, and everyone can make them. You can only see through your portals, which I found pretty weird.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm like, is this a constraint of the technology because you don't want to make it run real bad? Or is it just a tactical constraint?
Yeah, I assume that's a tactical asymmetry.
Yeah, I tried both on PC and PS5 just to make sure that this was true everything.
Okay.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Seems like there's stuff to unlock just from playing it free to play.
Yeah, just watching that during the conference, it looked really, really good.
It's super low res on the PlayStation version, but it's just the PS4 version. They don't seem to have a PS5 version yet.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for them to do that because I'd love to just see this game in higher res. It's already running well, so that's good.
That's good.
But yeah, I'll probably play more of this. I definitely I feel like we could totally get a group together to play some.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to try that out. Maybe if my house gets power ever again.
Right.
We don't know.
It's
Bob,
still up in the air.
I'll sleep on the floor.
They do have it set up. The tutorial was really bad in this game. Real quick.
I'm noticing a theme.
They tell you to hit L1 and R1 at once to shoot a portal. What they really mean is L1 opens one side of the portal, R1 opens the other side of the portal.
Yeah, that is kind of what I figured.
Yeah. So once I figured that out, the game made a lot more sense and was a lot more fun.
Unfortunately, it was 3 hours in that I realized this error.
It was about halfway through the first actual match I was in, and not during tutorial at all, because the tutorial was...
God!
Dude, come on, what? What are they doing?
I don't know. But that's it for what I played.
Okay, cool. I own Quake on PC right after last week's big thing.
Oh, no!
I booted it up to check it out, and it ran like shit. We're talking ran like absolute shit. The Quake remaster ran like absolute shit. Quake, and I'm like, okay, what's happening here? I pop open the Control-Alt Delete, look at the task manager, and I'm like, it's taking up less than 2% of my GPU. What is happening? And I realized through enough testing, it is this 8 kilohertz Razer mouse that is pulling the mouse so fast.
Come on.
It's making the engine shit its pants.
I figured it would have to be
insane
something
mouse.
like that. Because I'm like, well, I played it all week. It was great.
Yeah, so I realized this when moving with the keyboard was fine, but the moment I went to move the mouse, it would just stop rendering frames. It was intensely bad. I went and I was like, is this a problem with modern games? Because it actually lets you boot the original version of Quake through Steam. Original Quake did fine with this mouse. And I'm like, let's check out contemporary shooters. You know, I own a few. Let's go check those out. I booted Overwatch. It too had problems, but it didn't like stop rendering frames like Quake Remastered did. It just went, oh hey, I'm dropping a couple frames here, but it's okay. We can still go. This doesn't make any sense for your fucking 1080 Ti to be dropping frames here, but it's okay. We got this. I went into the mouse's properties and I'm like, hey, lower to 4 kilohertz. 4 kilohertz, please. And it goes, okay. And that fixed Overwatch completely and also fixed Quake Remastered. And I'm like, this is why we can't have nice things, I guess, because if you make too much progress, it breaks something somewhere.
Now, Dan,
Yeah.
I need you to, because you bought Doom Eternal on PC, right?
I did, yes. And that's one of the games I would have tested, but I did not have it
Not Doom
downloaded.
Eternal. Not Doom Eternal. Boot Doom 64.
Ooh.
Because I think it's also on the Kex engine that Night Dive uses, which is what the Quake Remaster's on.
So you're
I'm
telling me I need
curious
to
if it's
probe
just
more
some-
Kex games.
See if it's some idiosyncrasy with the Kex engine where it just shits its pants.
Yeah, okay. That sounds good. Maybe also do Turok.
Right?
Or blood.
Or Blood. Yeah, that mouse, by the way, feels great, everyone. And running at 4 kilohertz is obviously not as nice as 8 kilohertz, but it's fine if it doesn't break your fucking game.
I'm sorry, Dan. The only mouse I can buy is the Gundam Mouse.
I'm not sure I've seen this. One moment. I'm going to type this into Google. Gundam Mouse.
It should be Razer, I
It's a
believe.
woman in a tub.
Covered in beans. This is a really cool mouse. I'm sure it doesn't earn the $70 price all that well, but it's a very cool looking mouse.
Right.
I think the mouse pad actually may be cooler though.
I know that mouse pad's really nice. Every time it goes in stock, it's out of stock by the time I try and buy it.
Damn. Damn, Bahram. Looks like you can get it from GameStop for $30.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Oh my god, I'm losing it. Asus ROG, which stands for Republic of Gamers, by the way. Asus ROG Sheath Gundam Edition mousepad.
Yeah, it's called the Sheath.
Which edition do you want? Gundam, black and red, or black and pink? I'm like, wait,
Black and
what?
pink.
What? Yeah, those other ones are just generic mouse pads. They're the same price.
Huh.
$30 for all three. Man, that's fucking, come on, man. But yeah, that Gundam mouse pad's really cool. But yeah, most of what I do on my computer is fucking work. So 8 kilohertz mouse feels fucking incredible in Windows, especially with the high refresh rate monitor. That shit felt like magic for the first several days and still feels incredibly good. And I'm kind of sad that some games so far can't really support the 8 kilohertz, but that's fine. 4 kilohertz seems to be working just fine. I need to spend more time with Quake Remastered now that I've solved the mystery. But unfortunately, higher priority right now is No More Heroes came out. No More Heroes 3 came out 28 minutes ago. And yeah, I got the Ghost of Tsushima PS5 Director's Cut, so I have the Iki Island stuff to do. So I'm going to be doing that before I check out 20, 30-year-old PC game. Bob, you talked about everything you played?
Yeah.
Hey, KZ, did you play anything?
Yeah, I played some stuff.
Cool.
I played some of that Quake remaster for about a couple of hours. I had not played Quake ever.
What you played on?
Xbox Series X.
Sorry, Game Pass is the platform now.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I played it on Game Pass.
Okay, there we go. Cool.
It was all right. I was really enjoying like the movement and the general like flow of it. It started opening me up a little bit. And that was pretty good. It was nice just running around trying to find secrets and other stuff like that. Nail gun feels pretty good once you get the good version of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too much to say about it aside from I played it. It's good, and I'll probably keep coming back to it, slowly chipping away at it because it has a full main game and like 4 expansions with one of
I
the
think they said they were gonna patch in more stuff too. Like they're like, we're gonna put Arcane Dimensions in it, the really big Quake mod.
Yeah, they're putting in like more big, well-known free mods, and that on top of the fact that Machine Games just made an expansion for this remaster that's just in there is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Next up, I played 12 minutes on Game Pass. This is that indie game that's been. It showed up at a couple of conferences at E3.
It sure did, and I was very excited.
Setting the world on fire.
It was a very exciting game. Like first time they showed it and gave you the general premise. Then they did basically the same trailer again with a couple of different things in it, and then went James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem Dafoe are now in this game now.
Yeah, which made me lose it. I'm pretty sure we live streamed that conference. You can go see how the first time I'm like, oh, that's neat, and then the second time I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And then I played through it. I'm gonna split this into 2 chunks here.
Okay.
The first chunk, I'm going to talk a little bit about the gameplay, the general flow of the game. The second part, I'm just going to talk about what this game did and why people are dogging about it. And in the edit, I will let people know when to get out to avoid the potential spoilers for that. But the general premise of the game is you're on your way home. You're heading into your apartment where your wife is, and it's a point and click adventure style game. You're walking around, you click to you click an area, and that's where they're going to end up moving. So the control wise, it's a bit clunky. Just like trying to interact with certain things, but you're going in, you're saying hi to your wife. She planned some stuff for the night, like a dessert and something like that, and you can mess around with stuff, and time is going by as this happens. And then after about just a few minutes, you get a knock on the door, and it's Willem Dafoe as a policeman who ties you up, accuses the wife of a murder, and then in some way you will become knocked out or incapacitated, and then the loop starts where you immediately wake up, having just gone into the apartment again, and that entire loop just continues. Your main character reacts every time, like they'll know, oh yeah, it was like in a split second, I'm here now, which really adds to it when it's like, yeah, that cop was choking you out, and you're still like gasping for air when you jumped into the loop again. So there's some cool stuff with that, and the whole game's premise is you need to try and break this loop. What's going on? What's this mystery that you have to unfold? And through the game, you're like solving different puzzles, trying different combinations of talking to the wife, doing that thing where it's like, I need to try and convince you that there's a loop. There's going to be thunder in a minute and a half, and you just kind of sit there and wait, and then it finally does, and she's like, how the fuck did you know that? The forecast was clear, and then some other stuff, and you try to find information any way you can, like maybe sometimes you, before she even comes out of a room, right as you arrive, you hide in the closet the entire time. And she doesn't even know you actually arrived. You got fun stuff like that. But overall, I was enjoying myself for 3.5 of those hours as I was trying to slowly chip away at what was going on. I feel like there is just, in general, some clunk to the gameplay of trying to click on certain things to get it to work. Like, you'll have an inventory, you hit down on the D-pad to pull up, and then you have to hold a button and drag it onto things. And that doesn't necessarily feel that great. They're trying their best to make point and click work on a controller, which I don't necessarily think was the best idea in the world. And some stuff is timing based, since this is a loop and you only have a certain amount of time before this cop's gonna arrive the way he always does. You need to get through things quickly.
So I gotta ask.
Sure.
Interfacing with it in this way, would you compare it as lesser than or greater than the experience of playing StarCraft on an N64?
I can't say I've ever experienced StarCraft on an N64 because we haven't done the death stream you talked about years ago, saying this is how I die.
I'm pretty sure Twitch will ban me when that is the title of my stream.
Yes, it'll be pretty good. But overall, I was enjoying my time with it. The story was slowly developing. But I'm now going to talk about what the game did, because when I described my experience with the game without spoiling it, everyone just red-pilled themselves and looked it up. And every single time they went, "Are you fucking kidding?" Or going, "This edible ain't shit," essentially.
Yeah.
All right, so by now I will have edited in when people can get out. So,
Yep, it's edited and marked.
spoilers for 12 minutes end at 101:54. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this cop comes in and says that your wife murdered her father. And there's like a big mystery going on with that. And it's during this great day that's supposed to be a celebration because the relationship's been going well. She's pregnant. She's going to be having a child soon, and you're celebrating with that.
She's bathing in beans.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, she gives you some like baby clothes that are like, here, this is the way I'm telling you, showing you that I have baby clothes. And she's like, it's for a girl because I assume it'll probably be that, and if not, she'll be a baby, so she won't know that she's wearing girls' clothes, like named after like the dad's mom or whatever.
Okay.
And you're going through and trying to get her to open up more about this alleged murder and what happened with her dad, because she said he died in a heart attack of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not true. What happened is there was this thing of she was estranged from her dad for a bit because he cheated on the wife with the maid, and caught her trying to do something, and she just got real mad and then shot at her dad. But it didn't kill him, is what you end up finding out. But she didn't know that. And through evidence with the cop, you learn this through different loops. And it slowly develops into this other case. You meet and learn more about the cop, because one time you can set up a Rube Goldberg style puzzle where you drug your own wife with sleeping pills to knock her out, to take her into the room that has a bad light switch that shocks, so that he goes in there and goes, "Why the fuck is this happening?" He flicks the switch and electrocutes himself and knocks him out. And then you grab his gun and shoot him in the leg to like incapacitate him. And that's how you can like open up a lot of stuff in here. And it's there's a lot of layers.
Yeah,
because it keeps looping, and eventually you go, okay.
You just become more and more of a psychopath.
Yeah, you become more and more of a psychopath, but whatever's going to get you to this winning loop, because after about 10 minutes, it's done, you start over.
Okay.
Or if you ever attempt to leave the door. Like, if you just leap through the front door at any time, it immediately resets. So you get through this, and finally you're like, I have the information, I've talked to this dude, we found ways to get him to back off in the form of finding out the phone number of his daughter that is who has cancer and also wants something from us, because the wife left with an expensive pocket watch that he could pawn off to pay for her cancer treatments, because that's also a layer of this.
Okay.
But through all this, we're like, all right, she didn't kill him. It's most likely going to be his mistress, so it would end up being like the person he cheated with, the maid's like secret like love son. And it's like, okay, we just have to find him. And through the last puzzle and the last loop you can do is if you go up to the cop when they're talking about this, trying to figure out who the maid is, if you give your the baby clothes she gave you to him, the name on it is your mother, which is the name of the maid. And that's the moment where your character freaks out going, oh my god, I made an incest baby.
That's their idea of a twist?
The grand twist is, oh my god, that's like we're related. She's pregnant with my child. And then they roll it back because it's 12 minutes, it's titled. And the game started with it right on the 12 hand, or like the start of the hour. And the option said continue. The game then rolls back 2 minutes to give you a 2-minute section where you're talking to the dad. And he's like, you can't do this. You can't get in this relationship. And then it's kind of like him sitting you down, and then a fight breaks out. And then you find yourself trapped in the loop. And it keeps jumping back and forth doing crazy stuff because there's multiple different endings in this game. But the general basic plot that they're trying to say is that the dad is trying to hypnotize you into forgetting about all of this. And the loops you've been going to is a metaphor of him thinking about what he wants to get with his sister. And that's all of this is a fabrication, maybe, which is why Willem Dafoe, the cop, also plays the role of the father. So it's like all a construct of this character's mind. So there probably really isn't an actual incest baby that exists. That's just something in his brain.
All right.
And that's overall, that's basically what it does. It may be one of the worst stories I played in over 10 years. It's kind of shocking how bad it just falls apart. I just couldn't believe it. And it just becomes a really obtuse thing of you can get one ending by clicking a clock while a dude speaks and then his voice will trail off after a minute. That's one of the endings.
That's not...
Another one is like examining like this book to remind him that, hey, he could hypnotize you and so that you don't remember being attracted to your half sister.
Thank you, KZ, for sharing.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, that was 12 minutes. That's why some people may have looked it up and went, that was rough, but since we're out of that spoiler territory, I wanted to enjoy this game and I was enjoying it a decent bit. If they wrote something normal for humans that they could find approachable by anyone that isn't that, then you could have had a pretty like high 7 on your hands. But between its clunkiness and that, I just wish Willem Dafoe was allowed to be in good video games.
Yeah, he's got a curse, apparently.
So
Instead of something that I immediately said out loud to myself, we have David Cage at home. What's up, Phil?
yeah, that's an element of this that needs to be brought up is the twist of this came from a book that the developer was forced to read because it's a forced part of Portuguese compulsory. It's compulsory.
When you found that out, I felt even worse about it.
That's insane.
Because I'm sure in the book that whatever that is probably better realized.
all it takes to get good reviews is have Hollywood actors and be like the focus of our game is narrative.
But see, this
That's really
isn't
all it
fair.
takes.
This isn't fair. We didn't get an interview with Luis where he was just like, my story is different because in this one, the incest is the good guy. And now we're marking that for spoilers.
Yeah, I thought we were out, but you wanted to have a little bit more fun, and I respect you for that.
That line's gonna stick with people.
It sure is. If we were, if only that could be a title.
Holy shit, that's the secret title for episode 134.
It's the title in our heart if our podcast wasn't Fat Castle Super Beats.
And if YouTube weren't vicious.
Yes. That was... Yeah, that game was...
Yeah, I wanted to play
really
that game. I was really interested in it.
Yep, and there have been plenty of games media people that are like, man, this is the aggressively the worst shit ever.
I can see why.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, I like time loop stuff, so I was really hoping for like something pretty solid there. But you can't win them all.
Yeah, I like time loop stuff. I also like this sort of like interesting adventure storytelling sort of approach, and I also like people who sound like this. So I was like, this is right up my alley. You know, we got all three of these in the right place. Apparently, no.
Yeah, no.
The house is cursed and burnt down.
Yeah, it is cursed and burnt down. That's unfortunate.
Did you play anything else?
Yeah, I played some Judgment this week.
Oh.
Because we got like a month until the sequel comes out, which when I said that, people started having panic attacks going, what do you mean? And I'm like, this fall is going to kill everyone.
Yeah.
In terms of game releases.
Everyone's going to stream StarCraft 64.
Yes, they are. I have not played or knew basically anything about Judgment. Picked this up. This is the PS5 version, so it runs at 60. Looks nice. Has the newer lighting that was in Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon. And this is really good so far. It's really getting its hooks in me, maybe more than most Yakuza games do, because it's taking the general presentation and stuff from that studio and applying it to a detective style game with a mystery and like some murder stuff and some court stuff. Really cool. Just general like on the box like starting thing is that you played as a former lawyer that He was like a defense attorney. He got someone off. Then a week later, that dude stabbed his girlfriend and set their house on fire. And that made him go, I'm not worthy of judging people, which is probably why they called the game Judge Eyes in Japan, among other things. So he just becomes a disheveled detective character. And it's just about you trying to solve this case of people getting murdered and having their eyes gouged out, as you're trying to figure things out with that. And then, doing some side case stuff, getting into that. It has that Yakuza style combat where you're like hitting down on the D-pad to switch between different styles. This game has like a style for like hitting more than one enemy, and then one for like one-on-one combat. I'm about 5 chapters in so far, and it's been pretty solid. Story's been okay. At times they try to pretend that a side quest is the main story, and I'm like, you really don't need to dress up this filler content. You just wanted me to do a side quest here, I guess. But aside from that, I've been really enjoying it. Some of the side stuff's been pretty good. I ran into the Terrible Trio, Dan. These are sex offenders. The Terrible Trio includes characters, including characters like Ass Ketchum.
Yeah, Ass Ketchum.
Yeah, Ass Ketchum.
Which is and what's funny in both of these, they go, yeah, it's a brother and sister that give you this job. The sister just gets attacked both times. It's like, this dude stole my underwear. This person goes up to people, Ass Ketchum does, grabs their ass and says what sport they'd be good at and how they could improve. It's like he is like,
fucking Yakuza game.
Yeah. Ass Ketchum goes up to this lady, gropes her ass, and says, you should cut your hair. It'll less wind resistance. You could run more. The conclusion of this is, since they're twins, they're like, okay, we'll see if we can get the guy to get groped. And then the dude goes, oh, you did cut your hair. Your hair's shorter now. And then you like chase this dude. You beat him up. And then he goes, well, not to worry. I gain more power now because I grabbed that girl's ass and it makes me horny. And we go, that was the brother. And then all his power falls out and he loses. Because he's like,
See,
oh
if they
no.
were brave, that would have made him even stronger.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
If he suddenly got stronger, this would be a lot better. But unfortunately not. That was one of the fun side things. This game has a friend system where there are a bunch of NPCs in the world that if you do things, like if it's a shopkeeper, it's like buy a dish, spend a lot of money, go back and forth. They'll become your friends, and that'll give you like various boosts, unlock special items, that kind of thing. I ran into one that was a ninja in full ninja clothes. This is a white man. His name is Ryan. He ends most statements with "believe it."
Good.
We had a battle of shuriken, and by that I mean we went to a bar and played darts. I beat him in that, and then I fought him once, and then he begged to be my disciple, and now he will randomly show up in street fights and fight with me. He's kind of alright. Apparently they buffed how often he shows up, because I feel like he shows up in almost every single fight. He's just like there. And I'm like, I don't really need you there. This combat isn't really pushing me that hard. Because that's another thing. The combat seems pretty simple so far in terms of like how easy it is to take people out. Because Yagami, your main character, has this combo where you hold square, and then it puts a square crosshair on screen that if you let go at the right time, he does like a palm attack that launches people 40 feet in another direction. And it seemingly one-shots anything that isn't considered a mini-boss. And otherwise, it absolutely rips through health, because then you can immediately do a heat move on them. So far, nothing really seems that challenging, aside from like maybe if an enemy like gets me in a grab, if it's like a boss. So far, it feels good, but definitely nothing too hard. The investigation stuff's been pretty fun. I tried out some of the drone stuff, and building up the character through some of the side content through in between streams. I did some of that tailing stuff Phil told me was really good. I had to ask Phil, since you finished it. Does that get harder later?
No, it's just filler.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if it there became a point where it's like No, this person's really on their shit. That meter's just gonna fill extra super fast, and that's gonna make you fucking fail or something.
I'm gonna be completely serious here. If I had failed one of these more than once, I would have dropped the game. So I can't imagine that they're very difficult.
Now, this entire time, I went under the impression that, because I went through a couple, I'm like, oh, this is fine. I don't really get the issue here. It's probably really hard later, because I played games where they try to make that shit hard in many games. So I was guessing that it was going to be there. Because otherwise, it's like maybe a 2-minute section. Like the longest.
They just keep doing them, though.
Yeah. Now, I'm not necessarily like super opposed to it, because it kind of makes sense in a detective game. Maybe have some tailing type of stuff where you're just walking behind the dude trying to follow them around. I did find one of the ones where they once again try to pretend that brain dead side content is main plot, where you have to tail a woman and then she goes, "I recognized you." And then you're like, okay, I'll put on my disguise of a beanie and sunglasses. All right, let's do a second tailing mission in a row. I thought that was funny. Like, Jesus, guys, come on.
Yeah.
But I guess that would be the lowest part of the game. I'm just thankful that it's something that doesn't seem very hard, so I don't really have too much of a risk of failing. Because that's usually me on anything that's like, I can get through it. So long as you don't make me have to fail and do it again, I'm gonna be fine.
I'm fine if you waste my time. It's fine.
Yes. It's mostly inoffensive, and I understand. It breaks things up in a bit where I'm like, yeah, I would probably get a little bored if it ended up being the same, if I was doing the same thing over and over again. But whenever I lose something and I go, I have to do that 3-minute thing again, I'm like, no. Now I hate your game for the next 3 minutes. That's what I am with basically anything. I'm like, please don't. I don't need this. But yeah, overall, it seems pretty good. I'm really excited for where things go from there, and hopefully, I'll be super excited for the sequel once I finish this. Also, it looks really good. Like generally, I forgot how good these games typically look. Also, the dubs real solid. Like your main buddy, and that's Crispin Freeman, and he's doing that thing. He has like the most loud, like silk dress shirt in the world.
Yeah, he does.
He does. And then I learned that in an interview, Crispin Freeman owns that shirt.
Good.
Of course he does.
And I'm like, God damn it. But yeah, that's been good. I'm looking forward to jumping into more. But that's my games for the week.
Mr. Field, what you been playing?
I played a bunch of Quake. I don't like the fact that there's kind of only 3 weapons in Quake. You have
I was feeling it, kinda.
a shotgun and a super shotgun, neither of which feel good. What the fuck, id? This is supposed to be what you do.
Look, 3D was completely new.
I know. They literally were like, we're gonna make 4 episodes of this will sell. Like, I get it. Because they couldn't make John Romero's weird game where you have a magic sword and go through time. He had to be fired and go to make another company to make that.
Hey, whoa! It was a hammer. Thank you.
You have the nail gun and the super nail gun, and then you have the grenade launcher and the rockets, and all 3 of those categories use the same ammo pool. So it's like that's not a whole lot of it's fun. It's fun once they're just like the only weapon you use is the rocket launcher. That's the only fucking weapon you use. You just shoot, kill everything with rockets. That's fun. It's okay. I'd rather play Doom 2 probably, or Blood, of course, because Blood is one of the greatest games ever made. I hope Night Dive does Quake 2, because
yes,
I'm really curious because Quake 2 is like almost like the black sheep, because it's like it didn't do anything new. I'm like, yeah, but maybe it's like a more polished experience with more than 3 kinds of weapons. And maybe the most common enemy in Quake 2 isn't constantly... KZ, Dan, did you guys notice that the dudes who shoot grenades are like unbelievably accurate with those grenades?
Yes, it's kind of crazy.
It's fucking hilarious.
Okay, I got up to like... I got into like one of the area where you like... there's like a cove, and you go in like an underwater like cave to pick up stuff. And it's like a complex that you go through the right and do stuff, and you go up. And that level took me several tries, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with these dudes? And then they put 2 of the jumping, like, vicious things that just, like, kind of jump at you and bite you in one room, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm so terrible.
Just damn, they can bank those grenades off like 3 surfaces and hit you.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
Every time I'm like, I'm just leaving the room.
You have to, like, door fight. It's also fucking weird that Quake doesn't have a use key.
No, just slam your face into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. No, that's Quake.
Like
You
just
Quake
slam
was
your door,
made under
head to the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quake was made
You just go
under unideal circumstances.
and the door moves. Nah, that game is perfect. I find it funny because Quake 2 is the one that gets all the fucking hate because it drops the style of Quake 1 and does a different fucking thing. But based on playing the PS1 game, I like it more than Quake 1, and I'm worried I'll like the PC version too. These are two very different things for anyone who hasn't played the PS1 and the PC version of Quake 2. They are not the same fucking game. But I found the PS1 version weirdly enjoyable as someone who came to it in 2020. So, yeah, they need to do a remastered port of Quake 2.
Yeah, I do recall listening to an interview, I think it was on NoClip, of one of the old developers saying, yeah, we probably should have just, called Quake 2 something else, and then we'd have 2 big franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really smart.
Yeah.
Because they are basically nothing alike. Like, it's weird. It's really weird. Also, what was it? The person who did the music for the first one, Trent Reznor, he gave them serious shit about the second one and would not compose for it.
Yes, I did hear about that.
Basically,
Trent Reznor was like, this game doesn't have any atmosphere. I don't want to compose for it with Quake 2.
Yeah.
Your game has no soul.
Your game has less soul than The Social Network.
Oof.
Man.
Well, Fincher can make some fucking films.
I played one other thing.
All right.
I started streaming AI the Somnium Files.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not super far into it because it's a 40-hour visual novel. I'm only 9 hours into it, which is not a long time in one of these games.
Yeah.
Boy, this is a much more sanely structured game
Yes, it is.
than anything else Uchikoshi has made before.
You still haven't played Punchline, right?
No, I've not played Punchline. Punchline, I think.
Punchline.
Why are you still
Punchline,
making
I'm
the
pretty-
Punchline? Have you even played Punchline?
Shut the fuck up about Punchline.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Shut the fuck up.
Look at me, I'm a dipshit.
I'm pretty sure Punchline is a completely traditional visual novel, so there's
I'm
nothing
sure it
to be
is, yeah.
structured.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
Absolutely.
this is just structured identically to Ace Attorney. Except you have like weird pseudo puzzles instead of courtroom sequences. But it's like your first person perspective, look around, click on things. That they'll have a fucking 5-minute conversation about whether it's a step ladder or just a ladder.
In this case, instead of step ladder, this is the most pathetic cringe motherfucker you could have as a main character.
I really like
clips and I was so happy you got the good stuff, like when he hit the shoe boxes.
No.
Detective Date just needed to catch a whiff, Bob.
I figured.
There's a weird theme in this game with sniffing.
Oh, that's enough to make me not want to.
He's really bad, but literally everyone is just out to embarrass him.
Also, there are people worse.
Yes.
So, your protagonist is... the whole conceit of this game is you're a detective who works for the bullshit sci-fi hack department. Investigate this murder. The whole gimmick is that you can drag people in and go into their dreams, which is like a puzzle room, which is like an escape room, except it's a dream, so nothing fucking makes sense. There is no actual logic to it.
Yeah, you make a choice, and then something will happen.
And it will probably be funny, but there's actually no guarantee it will actually do anything useful.
Yes.
Your protagonist, Date, is a dipshit. I like him a lot, because one, he just dresses like a dipshit. He just dresses like he should be beaten up.
Yeah, my chat was losing it, because since you're streaming it, they're like, Yagami and Judgment is the same voice.
Yeah, it
as
is.
Date,
They're-
so it's just
Yes.
like getting punched.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
He has some really good character traits beyond being terminally horny. He's like a really big boomer, so he drives like a muscle car.
Yes.
And he has a $20,000 stereo system and a bunch of vinyls.
My God.
He lives with a 12-year-old he's taking care of for his friend. This 12-year-old can bench press 260 pounds repeatedly. Because there's a whole sequence where you're talking to her teacher and she's in the background just bench pressing 260 pounds over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Great.
That 12-year-old girl is the protagonist of the next game.
Yes, she's gonna fuck shit up.
He's already I've already gotten to the point where it starts to become crackheaded.
Yeah.
Like it starts to go into. I thought it would be longer before that started to happen. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. All the performances are really, really good, like staggeringly good.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker Oda, holy shit!
I talked about this guy where your first introduction is that he is the terminally online guy that makes sock puppet accounts to fight with himself to make himself look good in front of a girl.
Okay, here's the part Casey's leaving out. This guy is 4'4" and 24 years old.
I always forget the fact that he looks 16, but he's mid-20s, which makes an extra layer of pathetic energy come out of him.
This girl he is doing this to is 18.
Of course.
This is the most realistic game I played in years, isn't it?
His Twitter bio, because they show his Twitter account, is future husband of this 18-year-old girl. That's his bio. And he regularly asks for writing advice from a 12-year-old. And I don't know if this is how it's going to turn out, but it really seems like he just steals money from his senile mother.
Aww.
That's just how it seems so far. And the first time you meet him, your eyeball, you have an AI ball. You're missing an eye, so you have like a cyber eye that has an anime girl inside it.
Yeah, a cryptid inside it.
Yeah, she's a fucking cryptid. But she's like, all those accounts are him, and then you blackmail him with that information. Which is actually a really funny scene, which ends with the protagonist being blackmailed by the 18-year-old girl. Because she's like, hey simp, record this, and then she just walks over and like does a performance like the protagonist knocked her up, and is like, okay, that's in the cloud now. You're gonna do what I say, or else I'm gonna upload this video.
Man, I hate the cloud.
The second time you meet this motherfucker Oda is at a fucking maid cafe.
Oh no, you hit that! Oh god.
This maid cafe is like themed after mermaids, and they give you a trident based on your customer rank. And this motherfucker's like, yeah, I'm only at the middle. I'm only gold rank. That means I've only spent $2,500 here. And he keeps being like, I'm so worried about this person, I can't even eat. And then the maid will feed him, and there's like a 20-second long animation of her hand feeding him amu rice, and him like going, and then your cryptid sidekick says, I now understand why someone would want to kill another human being.
Man, Phil, I've been waiting a long time for you to play this because I'm like, he's gonna hate this guy more than anyone ever.
The design of this character is so perfect because he has like the fucking Kamen Rider belt on. He has like a jacket with the bumpers from Sonic on the shoulders. He looks 12 years old, but he's 24. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to finding out some of the secrets. I will never be able to get used to the hackish way Uchikoshi deals with sci-fi stuff in his stories. It just comes off as weird to me.
What?
It's so hard to explain. It's just like, yeah, well, of course we have like the machine that puts you into somebody's dreams. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, it's like whatever. He's like, "Fuck you! I want my game to be about this." And so it's going to be.
It has the energy of midichlorians.
Oh, that's very specific energy.
This one isn't as bad. This one isn't as bad as that. Zero Escape is really bad with that.
Oh yeah,
where like
the number go up.
Because at the start it's like here's this sci-fi concept that maybe does exist, and the series is about that. To the end where it's like we have government teams with these as superpowers.
Okay, so the idea where it's like here's this really specific concept that we now have a regulated police force to use.
Yes, that's what like starts
okay, I now
weigh
like,
on my brain.
Okay. Just don't worry about it, except for the fact that it's very important.
This one isn't so bad, except in the part when they said, "Yeah, actually, nothing we discovered during our weird police dream search sequences can be admitted in court." I'm like, you have like $100 billion of equipment here. What are you doing?
There are some limits here, okay?
Also, I was not prepared for the guy who invented all this stuff in your AI thing, your AI eyeball.
Yeah.
He looks like the villain in a Pokemon game and is voiced by Sean Shiplock. I'm like,
yeah, that dude totally.
I wasn't ready.
He looks like
I was not ready for that to happen.
In every Pokemon game.
And even I'm gonna post a picture of him, and even his name is like a Pokemon villain name because it's pewter.
Oh my god!
Like the stone.
Mm-hmm.
This is what this motherfucker looks like. You just walk into a room and this motherfucker is here. You aren't prepared.
Yeah, he's
nobody
like
else in the game dresses like this.
Yeah, it's fucking loser Colress from fucking Black and White.
Okay, now I gotta go log. Oh, that's so far below Colress.
I know, that's why it said loser Colress.
That is so depressing.
Like his outfit's go shooting 100 and his hair is shooting for nothing. It's weird.
It's really good because everyone else dresses normal.
God, what a fucking idiot. Look at this guy.
I know. Like, who just goes to wetsuit and a trench coat?
Also, I really didn't need to know that he was voiced by Sean Shiplock.
Yeah, he is.
Well, good.
But this is
good.
But this is really good. I'm liking it a lot. I'm glad that he was just like, I'm just make a fucking comedy game. Like, it'll have serious stuff, but its primary focus will be being comedic.
Yeah.
Which goes a lot better, and also the structure and everything goes a lot better than, you just solved this puzzle. I'm going to talk for 15 seconds about synchronization and how all this nitroglycerin turned into crystal this one time on a ship. It's balanced a lot better than that. I'm excited to keep going through it. Okay, I'm done. That's all game I played.
Podlords.
Oh, fuck the Podlords.
Oh, no.
Oh, fuck, there are no images, so we're going. Lee Broyles.
Cool.
Corey Brown, Dobo Muito Real, Red Blaze 27, Joseph Zuzushiro, Emperor Zero, Shiba Yagata will get Thanatos Rat on the PS5.
Yeah!
The Feel of Love, which Gexy Gex Maniac will win feels hard, and a brand new PS5 coming to GigaBoots Plus. What? I don't even know if the image makes this make sense. Find out next week. Xbox still helping out the Insomniacs of the world by making the most boring streams ever. Thanks, Microsoft. 101 shades of insert bad Top Gun reference here. Oh god, it's the guy wearing the shades from the Xbox stream.
Yo!
Oh my god.
Yo.
KZ.
Yo.
Gary Busey.
No! Okay. No, it's the fucking eyeball thing for Monster Rancher.
Oh no!
I'm excited for next week.
I forgot what that thing's name is.
Just to be clear, it is only that. It is not
okay. No edits.
Okay,
none.
there's no.
Not that I'm
You
saying
have a
I'm
week to
worried.
punch that shit up, Gary.
He's like, what are you talking about? The teeth are already perfect.
I
The
mean,
teeth
they
are
are.
in the eye.
WTF Spider-Man. Oh, Podlords, you didn't deserve this, but it's still funny. The picture speaks for itself.
No!
See
Fucking God said no.
just keep the fucking thing the same. Modern Mage. when Microsoft wastes my time and doesn't even show Halo at their Halo show. And it's a picture of Wolverine from the new game that is the funniest shit in the world, and that's what the viewers are. DFW3K. Muck bun. Complex, intricate, elaborate, A set. Kristen. Get ready, GigaBoots, because Susie Bear gonna go sweep your discs. We got it. Look forward to next week. Santi Kunai has returned to being a pod lord. Travis Touchdown versus new Raido Kusunoha Switch Edition. Me when I see the new cool Gunpla on sale. This person has edited a pogging face onto either a Rick Dom or some other Zaku.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Kyle Bjork. Hello, Bobber Video Games. Did you enjoy the Xbox Gamescom conference? I made sure it would meet expectations thanks to Microsoft. Zilter. Introducing the new Overwatch cowboy, Bessie McCree.
Yeah!
Beach for the bar.
God.
It's Baboon.
It's Baboon. Iron Aggro. Blig the Blue. Schleg des Poo. In loving memory of Max, a bun that was too good for this world. Oh, that's a cute picture of a bunny rabbit. I'm looking forward to being sad next week where everyone can see the bunny rabbit. Monster Hunter, Ryzen and Raiden. Terminator. Oh my god.
I'm just going to assume it's Neko Arc.
Yeah, that's also my assumption.
Let me. Okay, feel free.
Okay.
I'll let you
we'll
do
see
that
it next week.
I'll let you do that. it's Vector in a fucking trench coat. You see, Sonic, my wife, she was fascinated by those Chaos, what'd you call them? Emeralds, right, that's it. It tried to steal them. What?
I have seen Vector Columbo.
Yes, Vector Columbo's really good.
Based on the fan subs, I think it's just straight up real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
That they just did a Columbo bit in an episode of Sonic X.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a reason that Blu-ray set was Japanese.
Yep, because they fucking get it. Why didn't my parents? Moving on. Gale. Boblins, please, you're killing me. It's him, Carl Cock.
No! Carl Cock!
It's just a bad CGI version of Paul Feed.
All right.
God. Cooper Tank. Wait. Oh my god, I don't get this at all. Me after I acquired an LG OLED for $650.
Jesus Christ, good job.
It looks like a really smug lady with blue hair and a cool outfit. There we go. That's what you get this week. Yeah. Also, holy shit. $650. That's a fucking deal.
That's insane.
Did you kill him, man? Wait, Dr. Wily was a Fetty. I could have sworn he would have been a Zeke. Zasterder. Kaname Date. Clearly, you don't own an air fryer.
I know the face. I know the sprite. He has that sprite all the time.
A cat.
Wow.
Cat.
Indigo.
It's Neko Arc again, right?
I won't confirm till next week. Feel free to sit on the edge of your seat. Indigo Sykes. Alatos Dionageus is Moe. Banny, status report, please. She's in a house with no power. Are you happy?
Oh no!
Banny is ruler of the darkness.
All she sees that is hers. She can't see anything. I don't know, man. Waka waka. Okay, there's no way they're guessing what this is. Podlord, please keep it for next week. BN12. Evil Lucario. Remember to sign up for the Clutchins Insider program to be invited to the Clutchins technical preview. A raccoon that is very pretty. That's correct. That is a very pretty raccoon.
Probably.
My grandmother once said, "It is enjoyable to eat something delicious, but the greatest joy is the time spent waiting for it."
No.
Debunked.
Aspiring Bimani ambassador Shinji 16. You know what? Fuck you. Interlaces your video and desyncs your audio.
No!
You Shark. And Wild Logan Roth is finally a Podlord. Thank you very much to our Podlords.
Thank you, Podlord.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Podlord.
Podlord. Sends images.
Yes. Thank you so
And
much.
if you'd like to become a Podlord and get your image in next week, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get many benefits such as a Patreon exclusive show, one a month that you get to vote to have something to do with what we watch, good or bad, extended armchair dev pitches and gamer premonitions. You're going to want that one soon.
Yeah.
And early access to Mondo Cool and Chugging Bleach, our 2 anime review podcasts, and plus Cursed Content Club commentary tracks. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you don't have any money, you can help us by telling your friends. If you don't have any friends, you can make some and then tell them about us. And if even that seems beyond you, you can go to an Apple store and subscribe to our feed on every single device.
Yes, you can. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Picture's not guaranteed to be in.
Not every week. Our batting average is really good.
Right.
It's like less than 0.4% miss. Hey, you guys ever see the movie Watchmen?
Yeah.
You know when they start coming for Rorschach shit and he just starts yelling no, and grabbing shit and slamming shit and trying to get out of the building? That was me getting logged into the Patreon in time for Podlords.
Oh my god.
No!
And then that thing that happens to Rorschach at the end was the power going out.
Yes.
That was me preparing Podlord images earlier. I'm like, who's Steve Jobs?
Hey, I'm gonna order some Chinese food before big thing. Okay, who's Steve Jobs?
So yeah, we had some things happen this week. Just a couple. Not a whole lot to talk about, I don't think. What do you think, Bob? Is
I
there
don't
a lot?
know. It seems like a decent bit. Gamescom happened, so, we got stuff to talk about with Gamescom.
Yeah, the very beginning of Gamescom happened. The important stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's get some smaller news out of the way because those are marathons.
Yes.
Feel.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Highly relevant top bullet of news.
Well, there was amendments to the state of California's lawsuit against Activision Blizzard. They have been destroying evidence that would be relevant to the lawsuit. Shredding documents, deleting files, that kind of thing. Pray for whatever poor fucking rube that the management tricked into doing this, because that's a fucking felony.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, assuming it was some crony, I doubt the state will charge them. But, yeah, you don't get to destroy documents that the law specifically says you have to maintain so investigators can look at them. Also, I'm pretty sure it has been confirmed in court that if you do that, the prosecution's allowed to go, obviously there was something in there they wanted to hide, because otherwise they wouldn't have destroyed it.
Oh my god.
Like this isn't like a court, like a criminal case where wanting not to be arrested is evidence of guilt. This is a fucking civil case where if you destroy documents you have to preserve, they're gonna go, obviously there was something in those documents that was relevant, and the judge will probably go, you're right.
Yeah, it's called thinking.
Well, they don't think very much like when they named an Overwatch character that's a cowboy after someone who's a sexual predator.
Weird. I wonder why that would happen.
So McCree's name is being changed. They haven't said to what. They put out one of those. They put out an influencer apology statement.
You
know how fucking it is.
Fucking did.
You're on Twitter. You see a big image full of text, and you know somebody fucked up.
Yeah, I hope they name him Archibald.
I like that I got the two ends of the spectrum in the last week, I got one influencer who is apologizing for an insane amount of shit, but not really apologizing, and then a company apologizing for the name of a cowboy. I got to see a 1 and a 10 in the same week.
They said they had some kind of major Overwatch event that would have been out by now, but they had to delay it so they could work in him changing his name into that event.
That means
Yes.
they're like, oh shit, it was all about him, and they say his name 80 times.
I'm expecting they will also be adding him sticking his tongue into Hanzo's mouth.
Can you imagine?
Jesus.
Nothing. I don't. Fucking nothing's beyond them at this point.
That transition, story-wise and character-wise, would go off about as smooth and completely seamlessly. No one would be able to tell there was any motivation to it as the Dunkachino. Like, there's no... Wait a second. McCree, I didn't know you liked dick. Well, my name's not McCree anymore.
I'm Archibald.
God.
What's my name? Archibald. What do I love? Evidently penis. We don't know what's with this, but okay.
Yeah.
Fifth Dimension 134, Archibald likes hot sausage.
Can you imagine they literally do that?
I will. I'm gonna be honest. It's funny right now because it's theoretical. If they announce that, I will just have the Rich Evans look.
Yes.
What, on the couch?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Sinking into what will hopefully be a Secret Labs chair by then.
Hell
Hopefully. That chair's really good. I got to try Bob's. I've not tried KZ's. Those seem really nice. I'm kind of fucking jealous.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should.
they're very nice.
Yeah, you should buy one, and then I'll buy one for the living room.
And then we'll buy one for the porch and then another for the kitchen.
Fuck the porch.
Yeah, I don't want to go on that porch. That porch is terrible. It has spiders.
Yeah, it does. I'm so fucking tired of it. Feel, what do you got next?
Okay, Bravely Default 2 is coming to PC September 2nd. I'm excited because you guys said that game ran rough.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I got so excited that I was like, man, I missed out on that game entirely, and now it's coming on the computer. I've seen how that runs.
Man, I hope that it can come to other consoles, but I doubt it.
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like that's the weird Nintendo tax where it's like,
Yeah.
no, you can put it on PC in 6 months. You can't put it on PS5.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Although Travis Strikes Again got to escape.
I do wonder
Yeah.
though, because Octopath went to PC, then went to Xbox.
Oh, it came to Xbox.
Yeah, they dropped that shit on Game Pass like
Yeah,
3 or 4
Octopath
months
was-
ago.
Octopath was weird though. That went to Stadia.
That is weird.
Yeah, it was on
It's
PC.
very
It was on
bizarre.
Steam for a little bit though before it went to Stadia. So it looks like they might like slowly massage those in, which makes my brain go. If I'm not desperate, I can wait on some of those things, like triangle strategy, for example.
Yeah.
That'll probably hit like Steam.
Ah, yes, Project Rhombus fucker. I forgot all about that.
The shit
Project
piss war.
Hot Dog Panic.
Gearbox opened their third studio, Gearbox Montreal. They're going to be making Borderlands things because that's the only thing Gearbox has ever made that was successful.
I'm really excited for another before the sequel.
You were making fun of that fucking recently too. It was real rough.
Yeah, no, I made a joke at the expense of before the sequel not even a full week ago.
God.
I think you made one on stream the other day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you made one of trying to trick people into thinking that there was already a Borderlands 3 pre-sequel.
Yes.
and it was just out because of that one time I tricked Phil into thinking Agents of Mayhem 2 was out.
I was like, you could absolutely do that. You could convince someone that they made another before the sequel type thing after Borderlands
you could.
3.
They closed the studio that made before the sequel, right?
Yes, they
Or,
did.
sorry,
they did.
Pre-sequel.
By the way,
I believe that was
pre-sequel.
2K Marin. Is that right? Does anyone know?
No.
Okay.
If Phil knew
They're
he
dead
did.
now.
I'll look into whose corpse it was one moment. You guys can talk about what do you mean before the sequel was the name of that Sonic thing before Borderlands stole it? I'm going to lose my fucking
It's a
mind.
pre-sequel
Yeah, there was all-
for Borderlands. It's not before
Yeah, it
the
was
sequel.
pre-sequel.
You
Oh,
might
okay.
be
Before the
confl-
sequel was the Sonic fan game, and then after the
Yes.
sequel was the second Sonic fan game by the same person. And then Sonic Chrono Adventure was the third fan game that was a Metroidvania with a bunch of fan characters.
Look
put
what you
into it.
did.
What? This is good. This is the best part of this podcast. Keep going.
Also, I was starting to think that you were like conflating it with what was it? Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is a prequel game
Yeah.
for that.
So yeah, it appears that it was made by 2K Australia.
Ah, okay. I thought it was something
and they're-
Australia.
Yeah.
Good die.
And they're dead now.
Yeah, Tarantula
Um,
came.
Moon Remix RPG Adventure, that PlayStation 1 RPG that was quirky and never got localized until last year on the Switch, is also coming to Steam.
Great.
Awesome.
What was it previously available on?
Switch.
Okay. Bob,
Yeah.
I curse you for this first fucking bullet of news.
What is that?
Go.
This
Go.
whole time I wasn't actually looking over there. What?
Scarlet Nexus is getting DLC. They're adding Bond events and costumes.
I made a joke that I would kill myself live if we went to any of those Gamescom shows and they fucking hit me with Scarlet Nexus DLC. You're telling me I narrowly survived?
Yeah,
Yes.
they could have put this in one of the shows, but they didn't. They just like tweeted it or something.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's absolutely the last thing I would want in that game. I have no idea what they're thinking.
They're
Like, make me a combat room. Just give me bloody palace or something. I don't care. Not this. It's literally the worst written thing in your whole game. But doesn't fit with anything else in the game. It's painful to play them.
Cool. Glad there's more now.
Yeah.
It adds like a super level to it, Bond level EX.
Yes. It does that too. So you get more powerful moves for doing it, but Jesus.
They're like, your reward is more sections where you just sit there and listen to them talk.
Casey, I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't playing this game.
I know. I got at least Bob to finish one round. That's good enough.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah.
Everything about this.
Yeah, no, it's very sad.
Oh, well.
You have good
Let's move on.
news.
Yeah, I got KOF news. That's
Cool.
the best kind of news.
Shatter all expectations.
It comes out February 17th, 2022.
All right.
Okay.
So it's coming fairly quickly. Still delayed from what it was originally.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We got new characters showing up. So they showed off Ash Crimson. So now it's going to have every protagonist from earlier in the series.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, pause. I have to throw Pat Stares at under the bus.
Okay.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Shout out to Pat Stares at for it's because I tweeted once this was revealed. I tweeted Ash Crimson confirmed homophobes in shambles.
Okay.
And I immediately get a DM. I immediately get a DM on Twitter from Pat Stares at. Pat goes, "Feel I hate Ash Crimson, but now I can't complain about him because of your post. Thanks a lot, you jerk."
You're like, no, this isn't fair.
Well, at least Pat fit under that bus pretty easily.
Yes.
Anything else, Bob?
They also showed off 2 new characters we did not get names for, as far as I can tell. They look kind of neat. No idea what they're going to do.
I bet their names are Shatter and Expectation.
That'd be really good. They do have the Shatter Strike that they showed off.
Oh?
Which is like the focus attack from Street Fighter 4, where you can like do an attack and it can take a hit and then hit them back.
Oh my god, the focus attack from Street Fighter 4, an underappreciated mechanic by the time it got replaced in 5 by garbage. I was like, I don't know about this mechanic. I miss parrying. And then 5 came out and I'm like, oh man, focus attacks were so good.
They confirmed rollback netcode, which is great.
It is.
That was really great because it's after their thing of dramatic story mode. You're like, sure. Roll back netcode like I'm awake now.
King shit.
Enter a dimension beyond your expectations. Okay, roll back netcode.
A playable fighting game.
Yeah.
That's basically what it said.
They really need to add this to Samurai Showdown. It's embarrassing.
They really need to add this to fighting video game goes here.
Yeah. I was trying to just use anything else this studio is still working on.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I had a DLC character out like this past week.
Yes.
I mean, also, Sam Show's like got that 120 frames per second mode on Xbox, so clearly they're doing some fancy shit over there.
Right?
We're gonna end up in a weird spot if like Sam Show and King of Fighters 15 somehow end up being like the best online and most responsive feeling fighting games in a while.
That will be really great if they could do that. I'd love to see it.
That would be so
man, there's
great.
actually a PS5 version of this, so maybe
Uh-huh.
they'll do a 120 hertz mode just out of the box.
Yeah, I would expect it. I mean, why else would you put the time in to put that in the Xbox version of Sam Show unless you were testing the water?
Right?
So that's cool as shit.
I think that this is another really crazy announcement. It's going to come with an animated short from Masami Obari, the guy who did the Fatal Fury motion picture and OVAs back in the 90s.
Hell yeah.
And it definitely looked like something like that. And I was like, yes, slide it into my mouth.
Yeah, that looked fucking awesome.
There were
also
also
a bunch of mecha shows and pornography.
Yeah,
I saw that on there. I was like, I'm not going to bring this up, but I'm sure someone will.
they should get a bunch of people to animate it that just learned how digipaint works, so it can really keep the soul in there.
I'm just waiting for SNK to be like, let's put in the weird Greek god armor guys from the last Fatal Fury movie.
Oh, I need to watch those.
Man, that would be crazy.
I thought we were going to talk about the dude who turned his skin to stone that was in like King of Fighters 11.
No, I'm pretty sure that's a JoJo's character.
I'm pretty sure that's Greed from Full Metal Alchemist.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the 4 Saint Beasts.
Please don't talk about the Saint Beast.
Okay, moving on. They have 300 classic songs in here,
That's fucking incredible.
right? I was like, good, you get it.
And it's like, oh yeah, of course you would do that. You gave Sakurai 80 of them.
Right?
Yes, exactly. This is great. How many versions of fucking Athena's theme am I going to get?
Yeah, that's what I need to know. You better
8.
get a new one along with
I
it.
need at least 5 versions of Psycho Soldier.
Yeah. There's also 39 characters at launch, they said.
Yes.
Yeah, we finally got to see a character select screen. That looked real good.
Yeah, so people were like, beginning the active. All right, this is how much we can fill, because there's still apparently 1 or 2 characters that were in footage but haven't been like formally announced properly yet.
Oh, okay.
I was like, they should probably announce Kula eventually.
They need to.
They
Yeah.
do. I'm disappointed the Psycho Soldier team isn't there. It's Athena's on a different team, so I'm hoping the rest of her crew is on their own team. Because we got Bao, Kenso, and the old man.
Yeah.
Or they keep cycling out the old man, too, so it could even be like the little girl that can shoot a Kamehameha.
That sounds pretty all right.
We'll see. They also told us about the pre-order bonuses. So you can get Garo Mark and Wolves outfit for Terry.
That's important shit.
It is. Yeah.
If you digitally buy it, you'll get Classic Leona, which I missed. I think her new outfit's it has its appeal, but I think the classic is really cool.
It's really classic.
Yes, it's very classic.
Garo Terry is Terry Forma de Drip Maximum.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I'm glad we get both versions.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. It really is.
And then they told us about the deluxe edition, which come with the DLC, which is 6 extra characters, so 2 whole teams.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Man, this is looking great.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I really hope they can land this. It looks very cool.
Yeah. Man, this is the most excited I've been for a King of Fighters in a while.
Yeah, they were really digging through all the stuff they had there, and it's like, this looks like it's gonna really like tear the doors down of like, hey, they have the net play like set up properly. So
Yeah.
looks like it'll be a good launch.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't put it in news, but we got to see a single screenshot of Melty Blood
Oh.
lobbies.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they're doing the Arxis earlier games where they're like anime characters in an arcade as you walk around. And I was like, I guess I can deal with this.
You know,
Come on, Arxis is now being a net negative on the world with this shit.
Yeah. I liked it because I was like, Phil hasn't replied like in a loud way yet. I was waiting for it.
so here's the thing. This gives me a segue to talk about apparently the Accent Core R Plus on PC. They added gigantic lobbies, like absolutely confoundingly massive. And the way you invite people is just through an HTML link you can copy.
Weird.
So you can tweet your lobby.
Whoa, that's cool, actually.
Yeah,
That's unhinged.
That is fucking next level, my man. Someone posted it in the GigaBoots fan Discord, and I'm like, what the fuck? I click it. It opens Steam, and it's like, hey, you don't own this game. Do you want to buy it? I'm like, what?
Man, that would have probably blown my mind because I do own that game, and it'd probably just start installing it.
And you'd be scared.
Yes.
Oh, no, it's a virus.
Oh no!
But yeah, that's incredible. That feels like some actual next-gen tech for fighting games.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that even on console.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, the console thing, they should just build an activity card that's like your friends playing join their lobby right now,
Yeah.
which has been done, I believe. Man, those activity cards are really good. It's too bad we don't have many PS next-gen native games.
Right.
Yeah, things built with those features. But by the time King of Fighters 15 comes out, hopefully they will be more deliberate in building features for that. Anyways, we can continue with normal news now.
Sure. Monster Rancher 1 and 2 DX got announced It's going to launch worldwide December 9th. It's come to Switch, PC, and iOS.
Where am I? What year is this?
This
What's
is going
on?
There's an anniversary stream. I think it's like 20 or 25 years of
25.
Monster Rancher.
I would have. There's no universe where I ever would have expected this.
Yeah, like the trailer they put out is just the producer from the game back then being like, yeah, last year we did this in Japan. We got tons of messages about people want Monster Rancher in the States again, and I couldn't say anything, but I'm glad I can finally get it out here. We're doing it. We're bringing 1-2.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know anything about this franchise, but I'll give you money just for having the stones to do this.
Yes, sometimes you deserve a reward for bringing out what I say is the line. Anything in terms of monster catching that is below Monster Rancher. No.
I really want them to team up with someone who can bring out Blu-rays of the anime.
Discotheque?
Come on, get him on the phone.
That feels. I don't even remember shit about that except that for some reason the kid on rollerblades was just throwing hands with these monsters.
Yes! I only caught like a few episodes that aired at a bad time, but I want to see more of that nonsense.
I was telling Bob, like, they're going to bring back all of them. They're going to bring back Spectrobes, and you're like, never.
Yeah, I think Spectrobes is a step too far.
Yeah, it is.
When are we bringing back fighting food-ons?
Oh, absolutely not.
Should I move on to the future game show, or do you want to save that for later, Dan?
I think
now we're there. This is it.
We should probably get the worst one out first, possibly.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so the Xbox stream.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, all right. So here we go. The Xbox stream. This is how they said it was, and they're like, it's going to be like one of our Xbox shows where we just give you updates. This was worse than any of those.
Yeah, this was the worst by far.
They opened with Dying Light 2, giving it a proper date of December 7th, finally showing the parkour gameplay, enemy step, and like dive bombs with weapons that make shockwaves sometimes.
Yeah, like
That
a
looked
dude
really goofy.
slamming his hammer down and people who weren't hit by it going, whoa, and then getting knocked back.
Yeah, this looked pretty cool, and it was nice to finally see like that parkour stuff. And I was like, "This is great." Mirror's Edge is dead. I'm sad, but this looks cool. Yeah, that's it for that.
Yeah, that was the highlight of the show,
Yeah,
too.
it really was. They launched with the biggest thing they had, which is never a good idea.
Yes.
They're like, oh, this is a good medium heat announcement. Nice showing this up. Great. Okay. What's going to be the real...
Okay, next
real
up
ringer.
then brain death.
Brain death in the form of Microsoft Flight Simulator, where we spent 10 minutes watching an interview about it to let us know they're getting more content in the form of other countries. Like, the intro was supposed to be like they're adding like Germany to the game. You could not fly over there till now, but now you're going to be able to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and some other stuff. They talked about Top Gun. I don't want to. We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Humble Games did a sizzle reel of various different indie games that are coming on over to Game Pass. This was the, I would say, one of the only other good parts of this entire show.
It has mixed feelings. So it's like, oh man, all those games look good. I'm sad that they're not going to make money on day one with Xbox.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe
it's a shame
somehow.
they're being fed into the grinder.
Yeah, they look cool, and all I need is to be stimulated in this type of show, and this was basically the last time. So I enjoyed it, basked in it.
And then felt its warmth leave your body.
And then I felt the warmth leave my body as we checked out. Actually, this one wasn't too bad. And the next thing they showed was Into the Pit, which is coming out October 9th. This is a retro FPS roguelite thing. It kind of looked like New Blood type of titles, where it had is it Hexen, the one where you do spells?
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that because you're dual wielding your two hands and like shooting spells out of them.
It looked like Lichdom Battle Mage.
Ooh. Okay, it looked like Lichdom Battle Mage, that whatever that fuck that is. But yeah, they showed that, and then
this thing, yeah, it looked a little.
Are you googling Lichdom Battle Mage or the actual game?
The actual game. Lichdom Battle Mage looks a little better.
well, yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. Next thing they showed was announcing Xbox consoles getting the xCloud benefits this holiday. That's, of course, their cloud services. The big pop is for the ability to play something that's only on, say, Series X on an Xbox One through the cloud Dan, please explain to us why the way they described it was the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah,
Okay,
what Casey just said, I honestly didn't get while they were showing it. I didn't get it until they explained it later off stream.
Now,
I also didn't get that. I also did not get that. I read that through a Nibelian tweet.
Yeah, that's how I read it. How I figured it out too.
as a throwback, as a contextual understanding, know that they called this Xbox 4th generation hardware before, or 3rd generation hardware. For some reason, to describe that they're adding Series X games to xCloud, which you see how I just it's done.
Right.
You had it explained. If you want to play Series X games, you can now do that on any xCloud device, which is a smartphone or a PC or an Xbox. They go, we're adding 8th generation games. Because they didn't even say 9th gen, right?
Yeah,
they said
8.
Gen.
They said, I swear to God,
they said you can play Gen 9 games on a Gen 8 console.
Oh my god.
why are they like this?
Yeah,
Because they can't say the name of the console because they named it wrong.
Yeah, because Gen 8 would be
the PS4 and the Xbox One, yeah.
Yes, and but before they called it 3rd gen.
Yes, before they called that 3rd gen, and this the Scarlet generation.
Yes, they keep getting lost on how to say it because they know describing it the way they have now might be a little more confusing. So they've instead decided to make it more confusing anyway.
Their marketing team named this shit and now won't allow them to say it.
Yeah,
That's how fucking stupid corporations are.
Like, this is the part of the show that made me think this was like that show we saw last year, where it's like, clearly we were supposed to see this, but you said we weren't. And it was for internal use only.
Yeah, which is one of the times they called it the Scarlet Generation. That, of course, was the supposed conference designed just for journalists. So don't call it cringe. You were never supposed to see it.
The Series S reveal that totally was not meant to be seen by anyone, we swear.
And it's just an interview of them bragging about how great they are.
Yeah, this had so much of that energy. All of this conference did. Like the Top Gun Shades things and everything else. And I'm like, man, I miss seeing humans. So it was really cool when we got to see Opening Night Live the next day.
I really like that I'm like directly plugged into like the influencers that they hire, so I can see them dehuman as they get into these shows. It's kind of crazy. Like, this is worse than when Greg Miller did the EA hosting last year and went, "You just Death Starred my mind, man," knowing the fact that he barely cares about Star Wars.
Wow.
Oh God.
Yeah. What I was. You just imagine them being like, I just wanted to go over some tips, just some feedback on the script I was given. Microsoft's like, okay, go ahead. They're like, you have me say now it's time to gametize? No one says that. They're like, gamers say
the
that.
pun.
And they're like, would you prefer gametize me, Captain?
And they're like, no. Then they're like, okay, then read the fucking line.
This has a real Kyle Bosman bit energy to it.
The conversations you can only imagine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I don't want this in order. Here's what I want.
What do you want?
They showed a new trailer for the Gunk. It looked pretty similar to the last one, but the Gunk seems okay.
Yeah.
It's coming December.
Yeah, they're stepping up because isn't the other things they did more of like a sprite or like pixel-based stuff?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the Steam World game. So they're now jumping into like a higher rent, like 3D thing.
Okay, cool. We got that out of the way. Now you may read the news that is listed after Xbox consoles getting xCloud.
Okay, Sea of Thieves got a really pathetic collaboration with Borderlands, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I've seen some of the other things they've done. Like, they did a Killer Instinct ship that has, like, the logo on the sails that's, like, neon. And it's got, like, full gore on it. And I think it, like, plays music. And it's cool. This is a Borderlands ship. They just like painted a Borderlands logo on it.
And it's got a flag with the Borderlands logo on it.
And it looks really lazy. It would go right next to a ship that just said Red Bull on it.
It has a claptrap that is a barrel at the front. That's the most unique thing in the whole boat.
But it doesn't even look that good.
Yeah, but I feel like we're lesser that you had to correct me on that. I feel like as a people, we're feeling worse.
Attention audience. If you play Sea of Thieves, you have a moral obligation to sink every one of these ships you see.
But not the pride flags. Please don't do that.
Yeah, they can be spared.
The new McCree will come for you.
Yes, I feel like just sink these Borderlands ships for the epic Reddit bacon.
It's really, like Dan said, it's really weird that the new McCree, once they change his name, his alt thing is, I'm gay. And he starts shooting.
No, Field, they don't re-engineer it that much. He goes, reach for the sky so I can look at your ass.
I just imagine Matt Merther in the bush like, is I really supposed to read this?
I don't think his alt thing is reach for the sky.
No, it's high noon.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, what's up?
Would you like to talk about Forza Horizon 5? Because it has cars now on the cover.
Whoa, it has cars on the cover now? That's
Yeah.
good. I thought it would just show an empty Mexican city.
Not this time. This time they showed what is probably the first 5 minutes of that game.
I'm sorry, they missed opportunity. It should have been a holographic cover of Mexico City undulating.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah, it's got to be like it's got to be like those holographic cards.
And then there's a mascot in the lower right, and it's like commence the jiggling.
Yeah, commence the jiggling.
Commence the jiggling.
But yeah, they airdropped various different cars through different sections so they can show off the different locales. Forza Horizon 4 does something similar of the changing of seasons. So this seems like a decent way to get an idea of the game before you jump into it. And that was the Xbox thing. It was really bad.
Yeah, audience, this is literally the worst thing we've covered since Big Thing started.
Yeah, you thought we should start developing a policy once we get into Opening Night Live. You'll understand more. And I'm like, no, because we need this entertainment value of this was awful. And people need to understand it was awful.
I think this conference will literally leave everyone's mind by the end of this year.
And then
By the end of
we'll have an
today.
award show.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to Opening Night Live just because that chronologically is what happened. It is what it had to compete with.
That is true. Big Jeff came in. He had some stuff worth showing off. We had, how do you say this? Dokev?
I think they said Dokev.
Yeah.
Dokev. This is the open world action adventure game, not an MMO anymore. This was from the Black Desert people, right?
Yeah, apparently it started
Yeah.
development as an MMO, but they had to put out a press release saying it is no longer an MMO. It is an open world action adventure game that looks absolutely nuts, and Dan is convinced that if he had a kid, it would not be safe for that kid to fucking play this game because it's going to ask for a credit card and show him porn.
I'm really I really want to play this game just for how fucking surreal and weird it looks.
Yeah,
yes.
it's unsettling.
It all looks fake. It looks like those fucking children's CG monster things that appear on YouTube.
Do.
Where it's like you put this on YouTube Kids because you don't want to do the normal YouTube because then they'll watch that on autoplay and then learn how to become a white supremacist.
I feel like this is doing damage enough without leading them down that path.
Yeah, pretty much. Next up, we got TMNT Shredder's Revenge. Got a new trailer showing off that April O'Neil is playable in it. She has cool microphone combos. Yeah, that's cool. You know.
Yeah, it looks really neat.
the-
I hope Casey's also in because I would like Casey.
Yeah, I would really like Casey Jones to be in this.
yeah, the way they showed it in the art where she's like on the right side, it'd be nice. You just have Casey on the left.
Yeah.
To, around the turtles to like close that out.
First thing I thought when I saw her sprite, I was like, man, this is a very intentionally sexy sprite. Then later someone's like, look at all these references they took. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that explains it. It's like art meet
every
shit.
Street Fighter lady.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
shit.
No shit.
Yeah, people are very dramatic about that. Like, can we have one TMNT game without there being a controversy behind it?
It's like, this isn't a controversy.
Right.
They didn't trace it like the Sonic Advance 3 Tornado and fucking Scott Pilgrim.
And people went, no, that's Trace. That's what that is. And every quote I saw was, you should learn what words mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. But that looks cool. That game continues to look
No, that looks great.
really great.
Really, really great. That's from Tribute Games, the people who made Mercenary Kings. So the animations are really, really good.
Yeah. Very excited for maybe them making the first really great game they do.
Yeah, I feel like this is the first one that holds a really good chance since Mercenary Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. we got some Horizon news. They did a little developer update thing saying Forbidden West, their next game, is coming out in February of some date, because we didn't have the date written down. But it's pretty close.
I believe it is. Oh God, fucking. Okay, let me British up my brain one moment. 2202. No, that's a different game. 2218 2022.
Okay, so 18th. I think that's the same day as KOF.
I think it's a day off.
It's a 2 days off from another game that is 20. No, it's 4 days off from another game that's 2022.
Yeah, there's like 6 games coming out in February. It's pretty absurd.
God.
Fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they gave the date for that. It got, delayed because they're getting pretty close to being done, but they want to make sure it actually comes out and isn't
Hooray.
and they're like, we don't want it to, come out on fire like Returnal, so they're going to make sure that it has more time.
We here at Sony believe in delaying games a substantial amount of time to make sure they're polished, unless they're from Housemarque, in which case you get baby delay.
Or Sony Bend.
Okay, unless you're second string.
Unless you're running on Unreal Engine 4? Is that the rule of thumb here? That's fucking insane.
Oh,
They're like,
God, that might be.
They're like, look, all of our engineering force in the world can't help you get this to be polished. It's like, no.
Yeah, oh my God. But just seeing a few seconds of Horizon 2 looked
we
incredible.
all woke up.
Yeah, you could go watch that conference, and there are maybe 3 frames of the game that gets to play before you see me look like I got ice water thrown on me. I'm like, right, shit, that game looks unreal.
Yeah.
Whoops, I fucking forgot.
It's like, okay, take your time, and, while you're waiting, you can check out the Horizon Zero Dawn patch that they dropped at the same time, letting you play at 60 FPS.
It's 60 FPS and 4K checkerboard. It looks really nice. I'm so happy because I think game feel is one of the areas where that game suffers, and running your game at 60 frames per second helps that insanely. So that is great. I've been waiting all year.
Yeah.
We've been wanting to stream that game all year, but they did not put it. We're like, guys, come on. You're launching the sequel later this year. And they're like, yeah, we're definitely doing that.
This is like one of their bigger announcements for opening night live. They opened with it Saints Row reboot. It's just called Saints Row. It's coming out February 25th, 2022. Those characters from the trailer are actually your main party. The game is about how adulting is hard, so you have to do crime. I assume these are written by Phil.
They were. I was really on board. I was kind of on board with this trailer. Then I read the stuff the devs were like, and I'm like,
Yeah, other people were repeating me stuff the devs said, and I'm like, oh, Feel's not gonna like this.
Whatever. Like at this point, I haven't liked Saints Row in more than a decade, so it really doesn't fucking matter anymore, does it?
Oh yeah, this is one of those. You're in that unfortunate zone where it's like, oh no, I'm the boomer for this franchise. I have to go.
I wish to see some gameplay.
As long as the game seems good and they don't like release Professor Genki's Wacky Go-Go mode trailer in like 2 months, because if I see that motherfucking cat,
What?
It's over. Oh yeah, there's a character in Saints Row because he called Professor Genki, and he's like a big cartoony cat doctor who's like a Japanese game show host, and that was like the millstone around everything's neck from 3 on, where it's like,
yeah, I remember, even though I liked some of the goofiness of 3, anytime that came out was just too much and it was really bad.
I'm hoping this is still a big cool game. Saints Row 3 sold a lot. It sold like 7 fucking million copies. But then they got no money for any sequels because Volition was burning down around them, because Volition was doing their collaboration with Guillermo del Toro called Insane, which got canceled, which was supposed to be an open world horror game.
Oh.
And they shipped fucking Red Faction Armageddon the same year as Saints Row 3, a game that burrowed into the core of the earth and died. So the reason Saints Row 4 is just, okay, it's the same map we gave you, it's the same map, we gave you superpowers, and all your missions take place in like the no money dimension, is because that Volition was burning down around the Saints Row team.
Yeah.
It's cool to see another Grand Theft Auto like game come out in this. I feel like there's a void of those right now.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
of course, Grand Theft Auto is not doing anything. Crackdown came out, was really bad. And I feel like there was one
also
more.
4 years ago.
God, was it?
No way.
Crackdown. No, okay, it was only 2 years ago. I'm like, that
Yeah,
game
we were
was in
doing
development
big
like
things.
9 years though.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that got revealed in like 2014.
Yes, it did. 2014 or 2015.
Yeah,
There was 9 years between Crackdown 2 and Crackdown 3.
I highly recommend to anyone go back and look up what Xbox announced during E3 2014. Just kind of read it and then just think about it.
And just cry.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's the year that every corpse every corpse was made.
I highly recommend anyone who's critical of my tone towards Xbox to do that fucking immediately.
Yeah.
and keep it was is that where Phantom Dust was?
Yep.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that they had decided to cancel Phantom Dust before they showed it at that show.
God, that show also had Scalebound, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. That's when it was announced.
Yeah, I thought
Yep.
so.
Yep.
I thought those were announced back to back.
I'm pretty sure you can also see some Fable Legends in there too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the same year.
This isn't a Microsoft thing anymore because they failed to keep a hold of it. Hey, Studio MDHR, when the fuck is Cuphead Delicious Last Course? It's been forever.
Whatever, they draw in. We'll leave them alone.
Yeah, you know what? We're drawn. Start scrolling.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like, everybody was worried about Cuphead, and then it came out and was fucking incredible, so I'm not going to give them any shit.
Yeah, they also like already announced that it's not hitting this year, so it's like whatever.
By the way, the Saints Row reboot apparently was announced for February 25th, 2022, which is nuts because, once again, we didn't really see gameplay.
Yeah, we
Not a
saw
whole lot.
seconds. They gave us the smallest taste imaginable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd really like them to release, like, I need them to release a start to finish mission.
Right.
So I have an idea of what it's structured like, how insufferable these new cast members are going to be. Also, you can customize your character like always. They almost felt like they were trying not to say that during this presentation.
Yeah, I didn't
which
get
was
that
weird.
impression at all. I thought the whole thing was, we cast this person. She is a character. She is you.
She is one of, I guess she's one of the like 3 female voices they'll have, but they're like, no, we actually have the biggest character customization suite we've ever had for the series.
Weird.
Well, that's cool. Let's see. Next up, we got Marvel's Midnight Suns. This is Firaxis' strategy game, which I assume was XCOM based on leaks from like months ago.
Yeah, they make XCOM, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is going to be a Marvel superhero XCOM game. It's coming out March 2022. My big takeaway is the Wolverine looked really funny in the
looks
key
wrong.
art.
He looks completely wrong.
Yeah, they all have like really bad golden like level 10 relic outfits.
Yeah, they were all
Yes, they do.
Injustice tier outfits. Injustice 2. It was like, oh.
This is the armor set you get from doing the PvP over and over again in Destiny.
The armor set you get if you wanted to make your character look like piss.
Yes.
You get the Haze side quest done.
Why can't we get any Marvel games with the Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects aesthetic again? It's just such a shame.
They're like, finally, a studio was able to make Marvel characters look bad in the way Injustice characters look bad.
Right?
I would say this goes
I don't
a
think they
step
look
further.
bad the same way. I think it's a different kind of bad.
Wolverine
Because Injustice's armor, this is like Celtic runes all over everyone.
Yeah, we have Celtic runes. They have neon battle armor where the Flash's outfit is composed of 8 million different pieces.
They have armor that makes them look like millionaires playing laser tag.
Instead of cosplayers.
Yes.
But that sounds cool. I like the idea of just here's my Iron Man mode of these Marvel characters.
I have to wonder how this is going to do, just because we've now launched enough. We've seen enough video games launch for Marvel that just don't sell. We know that brand doesn't just sell automatically. So I have to wonder how well this pairing is going to do. If people are going to buy this style and actually want to play it.
Yeah.
This does seem like a weird coupling of IP and game.
Yeah.
I do like that they're doing strange things with it, because I feel like even back in the day, stuff like when X-Men Legends came out was like interesting, where it's like it's a Marvel game that's like It's like a Diablo type thing where you're like the overhead isometric where you're like switching characters and it's an RPG. So I do appreciate that we're getting different types of games now instead of a big AAA thing that explodes.
It's really weird. We keep getting games, but it seems like they're deathly allergic of just licensing an individual character game. Like Spider-Man's it, isn't it?
Yes.
So like we're not going to get a Wolverine game.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll start,
That would be cool because I think that has more appeal in a certain way.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like a game where, just like a linear Wolverine action game would sell like almost Spider-Man numbers.
Yeah, all they have to do is make him look exactly like he does in this and give it the tone of The Last of Us, and I'll give it 10 out of 10.
I want them to lean really hard into the Thor Ragnarok thing. Just have a Thor game like that's just really dumb.
Are we playing as Bro Thor?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, the dude.
Yes.
Yeah, I could use one of that because the only other game that's a solo Marvel character we have is Iron Man VR.
Yeah, which is really bizarre.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like just a normal Iron Man game.
I would like an Iron Man game that loads in fewer than minutes.
Yeah, that would be quite
Being
swell.
trapped in VR while loading that long sounds like a nightmare, which is why I never tried that game.
Next up, we got some. All right. Laura Bailey escapes Activision cube crawling troops in Call of Duty Vanguard is what was written in this document. Yeah, they showed a slice of gameplay from the new Call of Duty as Laura Bailey's character, which is a sniper character.
She's some sort of elite sniper.
Yeah, because that's like taken from history. Where there's some like super cool female snipers in World War II. They show a section of a fucked up city going in, taking them out, grabbing handholds in the form of like bricks and stuff, an Uncharted 2-esque set piece of the building continuing to like explode and fall apart, but it's first person, so it's kind of has its own little flavor, while also showing a section right after it of this is what happened an hour earlier in the mission before everything got fucked up. It looks good.
I gotta ask you, Bob.
Yeah, what's up?
What was the Call of Duty where you're in the city? It might have been Modern Warfare 3. In the skyscrapers and stuff just start getting blown the fuck up. And this was a part of the debut, like, hey, this is our Call of Duty. Because that was a point in Call of Duty trailers where my eyes started glazing over. And I feel like since then they've done a little bit more than blow up a big building to impress me.
Yeah, I think it was Modern Warfare 3 because that's the one that's like, we blew up the Eiffel Tower.
But yeah, all I could think of watching this thing was, man, this is just taking me back to that feeling where it's like, you're not showing me that neat of gameplay stuff, and this just seems like a bog standard Call of Duty set PC thing. In fact, one might say it kind of reminded me of Killzone Shadowfall. It's like, here's the beginning part. You're walking amongst civilians. Oh no, disaster. Now fight the bad guys.
Yeah, I think that the Rome falling apart thing was the coolest part of this, and that was just obviously we have a lot of money.
Yeah, they finally accomplished the Uncharted 2 effect, but in first person.
I do respect when I'm being shown burning money.
And the climbing on the walls was neat, and it made me think about what they might do with that as a feature in the multiplayer or something, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not groundbreaking by any means.
I don't think that's going to be in the multiplayer. That comes across as your average AAA game where it's like climb up this thing, like the fucking ice climbing.
It does come across as that.
Yeah.
So where you don't need a special tool for it, I was like, well, maybe it's more than that. But the multiplayer is made by a totally different team, so I shouldn't assume anything. But we get to play the beta this weekend, and I'll find out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're going to have 20 maps at launch.
Which is a shitload, actually.
Yeah.
Especially compared to last year's game.
Mm-hmm. Which, according to Chad at the time, was like 6.
Oh, yeah, I can confirm. I owned that game at launch.
Oh, okay.
It is not a lot of maps. I like them all a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot, which is weird because usually in a Call of Duty game, I hate a lot of the maps.
Yeah, I think the only one I've disliked in that new game is Nuketown because they brought it back. It's still bad.
I thought it was okay for Nuketown. I'm not the biggest fan of
I guess it's okay
Nuketown.
for Nuketown, but it's still Nuketown, so it's not good.
This is really funny because the only ever time I hear about Nuketown is Call of Duty. People going, "It's the best."
Well, see, here's the thing. Me and Bob are not typical Call of Duty fans.
Yeah, I know.
And so when we talk about it, typical Call of Duty fans have to go, well, actually...
the tone I always hear is fucking Nuketown, dude. This is the shit.
See, here's the thing.
I'm like, whatever, dude. It's time to go to sleep.
These Call of Duty fans like to pretend Nuketown's Blood Gulch. It ain't Blood Gulch. It's never going to be Blood Gulch.
I know what that is. That's the red versus blue place.
That is correct.
Exactly.
You know what isn't fucking Nuketown? Moving on.
Speaking of Blood Gulch, Halo Infinite was shown here and not at the fucking Xbox show.
Yeah.
They revealed that it's coming out December 8th of this year. They showed a cinematic to set up their multiplayer and then talked about the multiplayer a little bit. And
then showed a trailer for a controller.
And then showed a trailer for an
console.
Xbox.
A really good looking console where I was like, I want it.
Yeah, no, the
And I'm
console
like,
looked
I
really
want
cool.
it.
It didn't look like
I
a
want it.
nondescript black box like the console actually looks like. Also, it's a shame the controller's the Elite Series too, because I know the Elite Series by and large has durability issues, and those things cost like $200. I'm like, God, that controller looks so good.
Also,
it
no
doesn't have
share button.
Yeah, it doesn't have a share button, which Bob brought to my attention. I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
What?
We will not redesign this even a little.
The controller that comes with the custom console also looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, it does. I wish they were selling that separately.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I would. That'd be fantastic.
But yeah, it's good to finally have that like dated. The date kind of makes sense. You probably want to get out of the way of Call of Duty, I imagine. You know, at least
Well, it doesn't have to sell. It's Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want like mind share people talking about it. I feel like, you know, I don't know if those like cross over in terms of like player bases.
They certainly want them to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes Bob just kills with a sentence.
Yeah, I know. See. What was it?
You know how Bob got that shot so close? He aimed down his sights.
And that's it for our Halo Infinite news for this week. Next up, Lady on Help, I'm running out of oxygen. Morgana from Persona 5 is now monkey ball. Yeah. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz, or Banana Mania. Banana Blitz HD was the other one.
I believe the way the director said it was Banana Mania.
This was really good. Apparently, Jeff called Morgana a girl in an opening tweet, then had to delete it.
Oh no!
That's really good.
Misgendering this horny boy cat.
That's really good. I could totally see why you would do that. Well, that's a girl name, right?
Yeah.
Sure. There's a fucking cat. How am I supposed to tell?
Yeah. But that's cool. Yeah, that's it. Next up, New World continues to teeter on the edge of oblivion. I don't know. It showed a trailer and it's gonna come out. That's
Games.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
That was the best part.
Games.
Go.
What
Okay,
a
now go back, watch
psychotic
that
logo.
trailer, audience, and you'll understand the games.
Yeah, games.
They're insane. That's the worst company logo maybe ever.
It's great if only we could combine that power with Microsoft's ability to name a fucking console.
Box.
Box.
Is there like a fancy looking thing that might be an X under it?
It's like a scribble.
Yeah.
It's just a weird scribble. Who knows?
I'm gonna put it some level of like escalation to these last few, just to
Sure.
not end on something low. Fall Guys next season is gonna include some Disney collaboration with the Jungle Book. So if you want to look like Shere Khan's skin or Baloo skin, you have that now. I think it's funny.
Well, you probably don't have that because you need to get enough crowns.
Oh yeah, you need enough crowns and that fucking good fucking luck. Yeah, they're like, we want 10, and it was like, you can take 10 nuts. Get the fuck away from me. Aloy from Horizon is coming to Genshin Impact as was shown. It's coming officially September 1st. It's free for like PS4 and PS5.
We also got other important Genshin news.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we did.
the gem bonuses for cash money dollars are reset for the year, so you can now get
Which means
an extra bonus.
every single time a new banner comes out, I'm going to ask you, Bob, do you like the character on this one? And depending on the answer, may lead to a stream where it happens again.
I know. No, we really shouldn't do that. If I ever do this again, I want to be able to just hold it and get one or more characters than one at C6.
But it was really funny that one time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're also doing some level of like an orchestra concert for the game, which is those are always neat.
Yeah, this game has surprisingly good music.
Yeah, Genshin has pretty decent music.
I like how Eastern Studios, put music in games.
Yeah, I do appreciate
Yeah, there's
that.
a lot of Western studios that seem to think that music's like a toilet, where you need to have it, but you shouldn't draw attention to it.
Yeah.
Which makes many games devoid of any level of atmosphere.
Yeah, I'll play a bad game if it has good enough music.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, it certainly helped us through certain parts of Killer 7.
Yeah, I'm going to say...
The soundtrack tricked people into thinking Rise of the Triad was a good game.
Yes, it did.
Soundtrack can empower any type of middling to bad game. How do you think I survived the original Nier?
You can get through.
Can you imagine if that shit had ambient noise? No one would fucking talk about Nier.
Two. A good soundtrack can give you 3 points.
It's very important.
And yes, I am saying the original release of Nier was a 5.
That sounds right. I dropped
That is
thing.
absolutely correct.
I will continue to have no opinion because
But the
all I
story,
played is the remaster.
is like a 9 or a 10, though. However,
Yeah.
many other things are cinder blocks on that thing.
Yeah, the story is really...
Character moves like he has cinder blocks on his feet. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga seems pretty high rent. They showed another trailer of it. It's coming out next year. It had spring. They specifically gave the window of spring for this, so it's been cooking for a while.
This is like 3 years delayed or 2 years delayed, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first it seemed crazy, and I'm like, wow, this really isn't just we're porting those old sagas. It's like, no, we just pretended we never made those, and we're just making each episode from the ground up.
That's cool.
And yeah, it looks kick-ass,
Yeah.
honestly.
The camera's like now behind the character. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and instead, where you could look at a Lego game and they all look exactly the same. Where it's like, this is like really shooting for it, and I'm pretty excited to finally like jump into that.
Yeah, it seemed really neat. It's really weird, though, when Kylo Ren was like, Ray, the PS5 SSD isn't needed.
Dan, that
Ratchet
guy
and
doesn't
Clank
work there anymore. It's
Would
fine.
work fine on a PS3.
Ray, we can really easily do this if we just nerf the fidelity. You don't actually need it, Ray.
Everyone else should make Lego games.
I would simply make it look like a PS2 game.
All right, there's a moment in that trailer in which they were fighting troops and stuff, and like in a outside like on something in the rain, and I'm like, what the fuck? When was this? Oh, Rise of Skywalker. Okay.
I know, isn't that the best part of the Rise of Skywalker? You could see any scene from that and be like, is that like deleted content? Wait, no, that happened. That movie's just like a concussion.
I saw that movie again within the past 2 months, and I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking remember anything.
No, you see, it eventually came to me because there's like 55 set pieces in that
Yes.
entire movie.
there sure fucking is.
Which makes it great for a video game.
I need to get that on 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
you do.
Because I need to see that again.
Yes.
Because that movie is just like, you put a hydrophobic coating on my brain and then just threw a bucket of water at it.
That shit was it was crazy. I'm pretty sure in this trailer they show nothing cool ever happens in the Last Jedi portion of this game, so I wonder how well that part will
I mean, me and Bob got to talk about whether or not those knights or whatever just start attacking nothing like they do in the movie.
I assume that will be nothing but jokes at the movie's expense for the entire run of that
I
game.
mean,
Because that's not what the Lego games usually do, but it'll just have to be cranked up even higher to make that enjoyable and not horrifying.
can you imagine how that's going to go, though? Twitter's going to blow up and have a fit about it, and then people will see it and buy the game because of that.
and they're like, man, this got a pretty good pop. I feel like that section, you know, when you would buy like, especially like on like the 16-bit consoles or something, a licensed movie game, and you're like, they got to add a bunch of extra levels here. to like fill it out. I feel like you almost have to do that for The Last Jedi to have worthwhile gameplay in it. Because I remember Aladdin on the Super Nintendo, the good Aladdin game, where they would have sections of Aladdin's just in the lamp. There's an entire world where he's just doing weird lamp shit, or Abu gets trapped in a desert temple. And you got to do that and fight a possessed Abu that's like in a fucking headdress.
So I think you're right, and here's why. If they don't do what you're saying, the entire movie would take place in a casino.
Oh my god, yes. It almost entirely be Canto Bite, and then it would be the worst of any of these.
That would be fucking
immediately.
Hilarious. They'll just do the Mickey Mania running away from the background while getting chased.
I want to see the zany version they have to make of that lady's sister blowing herself up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the fucking opening World War II bombing mission.
Oh my god. I did not think about it needing to acknowledge the opening of The Last Jedi.
Yes, I just think about the fact that this has to like adapt that movie. So it's like, oh, in these games you do jump around between different characters, and that one it's like, you're playing as Rose for like 70% of this game, I guess. just to get through this one film.
Cool.
So, okay, we have to do gamer premonitions right now.
Oh no.
Will there be a joke in the Last Jedi section of this game that will make Last Jedi people really mad?
Yes.
Oh yeah. You can make jokes about any number of things in The Last Jedi, and I feel like that would make people who like that movie mad.
I would like a joke in which Rose says that thing that she says and then kisses Finn, and then he goes, "That doesn't make any sense. Why'd you do this?" This is kind of bad.
See, in my opinion, Luke's going to disappear into his Force ghost. Kylo Ren's going to be really mad, and it's going to pan to the left, and Luke's clearly still alive and just walks away.
Oh, man, that'd be real. That'd be real good.
He's just like, oh, good. He's raging. He doesn't notice me. Yeah, the Gamescom Opening Night Live with Jeff Keighley was great. That was way better than last year. What a good job. Those were some good reveals and exclusives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think that was everything.
We left out one.
Oh, yeah, okay. Death Stranding. It was already blacked out, and we were falling in.
That's we did everything.
Death Stranding Director's Cut is coming out September 24th, and they showed off extended gameplay, all the cool stuff you can do, like you have like a hover gear, so you can do big jumps and then hover down safely to the ground if you have the power for it.
You can cheat.
Yeah, you can cheat. You can shoot off a cannon that can then deploy a parachute for your cargo. You can grab a little buddy with robot legs, and it can carry you or stand near you and run around to deliver stuff. There's a bunch of time trials and like battle trial modes that you can do in this, like VR missions. That if they actually use the leaderboards and notifications that Astro's Playroom did, is going to ruin my life.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it is.
Within the next month, because it'll be like, Dan beat your time and got extremely proficient from it. And then it's going to devolve to me and him looking up YouTube videos and then becoming fucking subhumans. Yeah, they showed that off, the racetrack stuff, some of the new story.
Yeah, the new story where you get to go inside one of the bases.
We were so excited by interiors.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that looks really good. They of course closed on it because it's a Jeff Keighley show. You know, love wins. Oh yeah. Also, Jeff Keighley is gonna cameo in a Muppet special on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to watch that now.
I can only imagine that bit from The Simpsons where Troy McClure is sword fighting Kermit, but instead of Troy McClure, it's
that would be really good.
I always think about when someone tweeted is like, this is the small domino to the big domino, and it's all of Jeff's life leading to the fact that he can propose to Miss Piggy on a live stream, and Jeff likes the tweet.
Yes. As a reminder for the Death Stranding stuff, unlike the Ghost of Tsushima upgrade, which requires $30 has no tangible benefits to a PS5 version over a PS4 version, but does include the Iki Island stuff. Death Stranding's $10, includes all the extra content, and has PS5 optimizations out the ass.
Also, the only thing in that Death Stranding thing that kind of felt like something they probably really wanted to do was the boss rush thing, where you look at the toys that you had.
Yes.
That were in the game before, but now they become a menu to fight them, which I also think is pretty cool. I want to fight those things with they're really horrifying again.
Yeah, I want to fight them at a decent frame rate.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
God, that game at this fidelity and that frame rate, man.
Yeah, that game's looking really good.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely getting that director's cut because I'm stupid and I got the Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that was a good show.
It was an excellent show.
Yeah, they had that musical performance for Tales of Arise.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, that
they
did
did
happen.
They did a great job. I feel like that's the only
That
musical
was
performance
ludicrous.
that has ever showed up at one of these shows, and we were all like, "Oh, that was good."
Yeah, because they had her dress up as like the main like female lead of that game, and then do like a performance with it that was like really cool.
Yeah, it was Lindsay Sterling, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's been doing that sort of thing for a very long time now. It's a perfect matching here.
Yeah, I think they mentioned, oh yeah, we had her on our first one of these. Was it 2014, I think he said?
Oh yeah, I vaguely recall seeing something like this.
Wow.
But yeah, that's all of my news I have, because Bob, the real hero of this show, took notes for future game show.
Yeah, well, they were moving all the equipment over to my house for this horrible nightmare recording.
Oh, what a fucking horrible nightmare.
I took notes on this final conference of Gamescom. I hope everyone's excited. We got to see right out of the gate a new Warhammer game. You know how much we need those. Warhammer 40k, Chaos Gate, Demon Hunter. It's a CG trailer. I have no idea what this game is.
Okay, what was funny is we were talking about this at Dan's house in the dark.
Yes.
Going, hey, they announced a Warhammer game. I'm like, is it a new one? You're like, I don't know. I have no picture, so it could just be the same one we always see all the time.
There's always at least 3 Warhammer games in development. I have no idea.
Yes.
It's insane. Sands of Aura showed up at the conference. Anyone remember that? I brought it up before.
I remember that it has a bad name, and when I looked at it, it looked bad. That's all I remember.
The way Bob described it is he told us about it and we didn't believe him.
Yes. You guys all were like, no, that game's made up. You're making this up. It's a Dark Souls, really low budget, like top-down game. It's really bad. I can't believe it showed up here.
Yeah, I
It's the second
remember
game.
now.
They also, Salt and Sanctuary showed up, or sorry, Salt and Sacrifice showed up. They showed off how the online play works. It seems very Dark Souls-esque. Go watch the video if you want to know, because it's a ton of info about that, and I really could not care less. So I don't want to describe all of it.
I have to bring this up though.
Sure.
I saw the promotional image for Salt and Sacrifice, and for a second thought it was Kingdom Hearts.
Man, you got to show me this.
Well, let's see. I can kind of see it, yeah.
Sure.
Because he
maybe.
has like elements of Sora's costume, and I wasn't looking real close. It was in another monitor. It was just the trailer playing, and I'm like, is that fucking Sora standing in the water?
So I need to close this loop. We talked about Lindsay Sterling doing something for the Game Awards 7 years ago. And I'm like, what does she do? What does she perform? What great game? Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh,
Yeah,
no
I was
wonder
like,
it was
I'm
right.
pretty sure she was there in 2014. They gave her a fucking terrible game to.
What do you mean a terrible game? That was the winner of the Game of the Year that year at the Game Awards.
And what a fucking positive that was for humanity.
Fucking filler year if there ever was one.
Look, I'm just saying, Dragon Age Inquisition, if people remember it, it's definitely not for the music.
You can go on.
All right. We also saw Moonglow Bay.
Wait 1 second. I just got back. Who posted Sora? Anyway, what's actually up? Go ahead.
Moonglow Bay. It's a fishing-based like life sim game. It looks like, so it's all modern day. You live in like a little fishing village. It's voxel-based graphics. It looked really cute, and you go on your fishing boat and catch fish, and then you can go like keep fishing your home too. It looks like. I think it's kind of neat looking. I'll probably check it out when it comes out. Solstice was shown off, which they might have shown before, but I can't remember. It's Solstice, but was with
the U.
Yeah, it was a U, like Solstice. It looks like an action game where he plays a girl version of Guts from Berserk.
Oh yeah, it's like
yes.
like 2B Guts. Yeah.
Yep, they
Yeah.
showed that before.
It's very direct. I don't think they showed this before. You always have your ghost sister with you, and it looks like she helps you fight. And that's kind of neat. Then they told us about Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which is the multiplayer one. It's going to be early access September 7th. It's coming. You can play it if you give the money.
Well, that's good.
Maneater Truce Quest, which is an expansion for Maneater, that game where he plays the shark.
Yeah. Why is it called Truth Quest?
I don't know.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I have no idea.
I heard someone talk about it and they're like, the expansion will have a really deep story. And I'm like, excuse me.
Shut up. You shut your mouth.
And then we got the biggest thing of the trailer. The biggest thing of this whole event. Gungrave Gore got a new trailer.
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
You need to go watch this trailer. It starts with just a bunch of jobbers hanging out on a pier, and then a coffin comes flying in.
From orbit.
Yes.
Yeah, Gungrave continues to be the most raw thing nobody knows about.
Yeah.
Man, we need to play through those.
Yeah, we do.
We got that retro tank. We can fucking do some 480i PS2 games on it.
Yeah, we need to check that out. Oh man. We need more Natto art in the world, so I'm real glad. And then the final thing that was their big reveal for this whole event was Cat Dog and April O'Neil coming to Nickelodeon. We're not Smash Bros.
Yes.
Yeah, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
That looks neat. I'm excited for that game still.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see April in two different games this week. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, this game looks solid. It looks like something that'll definitely get an 83 on Metacritic.
Look.
I think that's 5 points too high, but yeah, pretty close.
Wait, it can't be too far away or else Kyle Bosman will die.
Yeah, that's true. He put bets on it. It's looking kind of dicey for our man Kyle Bosman, but we'll see.
I'm pretty sure he was like, if it's like 25 below or above what I said, I have to get a tattoo.
Yeah. That's what he said.
And I'm like, all we did was just start screaming, "You're fucking doomed, dude. What are you doing?"
Yeah, that was nuts. Look, I don't know how you do it, okay? But can you get Penny from Inspector Gadget in this fucking Nick game?
You don't even want Gadget?
No.
Okay.
No.
Can I
don't want to lose, Bob. I want to win like a fucking Chad like Penny.
Okay.
I don't want to
Penny
get
just
Brendan.
needs to come in with a pistol.
Can I get Brendan Fraser?
I don't know if Nick even owns them anymore.
Who? The Inspector Gadget?
Inspector Gadget.
I don't think they ever did.
I think
oh
they
my
did
God.
originally or at
What
some
is this
point.
nightmare Penny I'm seeing? Fucking internet? Did they do
is it the one from the 2000? Yeah, they did a 2015 show where Dr. Claw has like a nephew who is Penny's love interest.
Oh no, let me see
Wow.
Oh,
Okay, so
man.
I'll post the Penny that I found that I'm reasonably sure is from said reboot. But yeah, I this is a hideous redesign.
That is pretty rough.
That is. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, Dr. Claw's evil nephew Talon. Oh
Okay, that's
God,
pretty
he
good.
looks like suck shit. I'm gonna post a picture of
Okay,
him. He looks like
No.
Yeah, please.
So that Penny
okay, this is
from,
not from.
Let me
Yeah, it's
clarify.
not from that one.
Penny is from 2001 to 2005. The one he's about to post is from 2015 to 2018. Shoot away. Look at
This is so much worse.
I should have known when you said 2015. I'm like, why is that a 2D cartoon?
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's pretty weird. Here's Penny from the 2015.
Oh, come on.
They
What?
look like they're from a Grubhub ad.
Holy shit.
Talon sounds like movie suit.
Oh,
Hey, Penny.
Oh my
played
God.
by Leon Smith. What has he done?
Oh, here we go.
Now I have to go down the hole.
Okay.
Down the hole. Nothing anybody gives a shit about. Move on.
Okay, so that's news.
Yeah, damn,
Yep.
what's going on?
What's going on is I'm now oddly curious about these other Inspector Gadget reboots.
Oh no.
These art styles are haunting.
Inspector Gadget Week here on GigaBoots.
No.
Oh man, if they made games,
Like
because I think they only made one ever, and it was probably on a fucking European microcomputer.
There's got to be a GBA one for the fucking live action
You
movie.
would think, but I don't.
No, there's
think
a
that-
shit. Dan, I'm sorry, but there's a shitload of Inspector Gadget
Oh
games.
my
There's like
god!
20.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now. This is insane. There was a SNES game, a PS1 game, Game Boy Color, Game Boy.
no.
Nick under a fucking landmine.
Yeah, I was like, I know I've at least seen a Game Boy Color one, and yep, there it is.
Oh, this
Dan's like, I want to do this. All limbs explode off.
So what are you doing this week besides playing every Inspector Gadget game for the internet?
I am, in fact, going to play No More Heroes 3, a video game that is already out.
It is.
Aside from that, I may stream it or something else. KZ, what are you doing?
I'm going to keep chipping away at Judgment, working on some video stuff and whatnot. Maybe I'll also play No More Heroes 3. I'm hearing it's either great or terrible. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Mr. Feel?
I'm gonna continue streaming AI the Somnium Files, and that's pretty much it. I don't know what else. I'll probably play No More Heroes when I'm not streaming that.
Cool.
Bob, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You playing No More Heroes 3?
I mean, yeah, but
I think he's going to kick us out of his house.
No, I wanted to download No More Heroes 3. Come on, man. I'll buy you Whataburger.
Oh, man, I need some Whataburger.
I need some fucking food. I had intended to eat after this podcast when we were intended to start recording it 3 hours sooner than we did.
No, we were going to record that at like 5:30. It's 1:30 a.m.
Okay, we gotta go. Bye, everyone.
bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Big Thing to Mention. If you would like to support us, head on over to www.patreon.com/gbpodcast, where you can get extra podcasts and early access to our anime podcast, Chugging Bleach and Mondo Cool. Head on over there and become a $5 backer or a podlord today.
This month's GigaBoots executive producers are Esme, E. Lee Broyles, Starfalcon, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Dobo Muito Real, Ace Gundam Pilot Adam Admar, Cooper Tank, Zilter, and Virmvarn. Thank you very much to our executive producers. And also these gamers. If you want to be a gamer or ascend to God Kinghood, then head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.